for everyone out there who's wondering, why are they taking so long to make this game? It's because they were doing research and they were stuck in Florida because there's so much to research when it comes to Florida man and Florida woman.
They
I
went
don't
to
know.
Florida to research, got mugged, and got stuck there for a
Yeah.
while.
It took them like
Every
6
time
years
they
to get back.
every
It was
time
the
they made a
alligator that
build,
mugged them.
yeah, every time they made a build of GTA 6, an alligator would come out of the bushes and eat the server. So
Yeah. All right, we are live.
woo!
I totally didn't plan to that through very good because I had to take a piss right before we started.
Oh, that's where you went.
Yes, I had to go very, very quickly. But hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 42 of Anime Club After Dark's WTF series, a chance for us to get together live and talk about things outside of the anime world that have been on our minds lately and to answer your questions from our Discord server. I'm your host, Alex, but you can call me Senpai. And tonight I have our czar of source material, John.
Beards gang.
Beards gang.
Right? Natai
so
doesn't know what he's
lazy.
missing.
I haven't shaved in like 2 months because I've just been lazy.
I need to shave under here. I got a little bit of the neck beard thing going on, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I don't shave during winter because it's natural insulation, actually. So
It's true. It's true. And we got. Did you even give yourself a nick? Oh, you did. Sore throat Kun Shinoda is also here.
yeah, I might have caught something. Hopefully not.
Oh boy, it's the Rona, isn't it? You got the Rona.
God, I hope not.
He's
I
got the
really hope
Rona.
not. That'd be scary. By the way, I hope you guys realize, but this episode is the answer to everything.
42.
42. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
long, and thanks for all the fish.
What a great book series. Seriously, if you guys haven't read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy,
I've only
the
seen
entire
the movie.
series, not just the first book, but the entire series, go read it. It is
I will say,
beyond
John,
beautiful.
the movie is good, but the book series is really good.
No, the movie surprisingly captured it really well. That's where I first got introduced to it. Then I heard it was based off of books. I checked out the books. I'm like, holy shit, this is some of the greatest writing I've ever read.
It's got a lot of witty, funny writing in it. I like it a lot. Before we actually get into it, and we're going to start off obviously with doing Discord questions first. I do want to remind everyone, if you like what you see here, do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. To let YouTube know that you like what you see and want to see more. I don't do beards. It feels uncomfortable for me, in my opinion. I mean, hey, to each their own. Beards are what they are. I like it. I think I look way better with a little bit of hair on my face, but I think when I don't have hair on my face, I look like a giant thumb.
I don't like beards, but also I don't like doing anything.
So you don't like shaving?
No.
Mm.
At a certain point, it gets too long, and it's like, ugh, now I have to do the other routine where I have to use an electric razor first, and then I got to use the actual blade, and then it's just like, it's too much effort to get smooth.
Bro, I only ever trim. I don't ever actually shave.
Oh, I'll shave. It'll make me look like I'm freaking 20 years old again.
Nice. I guess that's good for some people. But yeah, let's get into our Discord questions for this WTF. The first one, actually, I think all of these questions come from one of two people. It's either going to be Classy Ulysses or New Vegas Savior, and I think I've got these lined up where they interchange. So one will go first and the second one. So the first question does come from Classy Ulysses. It says, "What is your favorite costume from any live action? Comics to screen or manga / anime to screen?" I guess what's your favorite like costume or wardrobe effects?
Okay. The joke answer is the Batman with the nipples.
Batman with the nipples.
Let's go.
Batman Forever, I think.
Bat nipples.
Right? I don't. Trying to think of character design.
We know you're a big fan. You're always asking us questions.
I know.
I genuinely love Iron Man's outfit from the MCU. It's such a stereotypical answer, but seriously, it looks so fucking cool. And
I'm just trying to
remember,
think of like what's a really cool character design that I'm just like, dude, that's so cool. Like,
I'm trying because I can come up with a lot of different answers for like comic book live action adaptations. I'm trying to think of like an anime or manga live action adaptation where I
That's a
genuinely
lot
thought
more limited.
right, or I genuinely thought the costumes actually crossed over really well. I mean, for as much as I might shit on it, and I will shit on it, I do think that the costumes in the One Piece live action adaptation did kind of transfer over pretty good
Oh, they were excellent. Yeah.
from what I was able to see. I'm trying to think of okay.
Oh yeah, Diamond armor was really cool.
Yeah.
I got one. Don't hate me for this. The Death Note live action, the Ryuk on there. He looked
Awesome though, wasn't that
legitimately like
that's a
Ryuk.
CG model though. That's not a costume.
Yeah. Like
oh, hi mom. My mom is in the comment.
Hi Judy.
Hi mom.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of no, in the recent one, right? From Netflix, or are you talking about the older one?
The Japanese
the
live
recent
action
one.
Death Notes has some really good costumes in them. Okay, I got another one. I've got another one that you might actually hate me for actually liking. I don't like the movie, but I think the costume designs in the American live action Ghost in the Shell were actually pretty good.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen lots of shots of it.
The movie kind of
legitimately
sucks, but
it can suck all it wants. Like the actual
know,
costume itself, actually not bad.
I'm going to be completely honest here. I don't even remember the costumes because I don't care about that movie so much.
I don't blame you. Listen, I don't blame you. Class Ulysses brings up a good point, and I have seen them. The Naruto stage play costumes are really, really good.
Speaking of stage plays, I don't know. YouTube was like, "Hey, you like Bocchi the Rock?" So they recommended me to watch like the stage play adaptations, and I'm just like,
I'm sorry, what? There's stage play?
Yes, there are stage play adaptations of Bocchi the Rock, and they're like doing live performances and stuff like that. And I'm just like, all right, these people who are doing the live performances can't sing that well. They can sing okay, but they're not like amazing like Kasoku Band. Also, when they do the effects when like Bocchi's freaking out, it just looks so bad.
Yeah,
because it looks
live action.
It's like it's funny in
good.
2D animation because you can make the glitch like but like all she's doing is she's just like shaking on screen like this or on stage. And I'm like, it looks so bad.
Like, hey, is she acting or is she having a stroke?
It's a fine line. It's a fine line. There's a at Universal Studios,
New York. Really, I didn't know. See, I'm surprised that we have anime stage plays in America at all. But I guess if any place would do it, it would probably be New York or like LA. That makes sense.
There's a Universal Studios in Japan I saw recently. They started doing a I don't know if it's a ride or like a stage play or like something you walk through and see, or maybe it's a combination. I don't know, but they did a thing with Spy X Family, and there's the costumes because I've seen video footage from that. The costuming in that looks really good. The acting in it is really good too for what it's being adapted from.
I've also seen the Resident Evil stage play. That one, yeah, they're all right. I mean, it'd be pretty hard to mess up like RPD just tattooed on stuff.
Spy X Family Dojins are great. Okay.
Calm down. We are a family-friendly channel.
Calm down.
Ulysses.
Calm down. All right.
Alex's so mother is here, sir.
Oh yeah, Alex's mom is here. Don't snitch.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Next question comes from New Vegas Savior. What is your favorite inspiration for any anime or manga? And the examples that he gives are like John Titor from Steins Gate or D&D for A Record of the Lodros War.
I don't know what this question means. But
I'm
when
assuming
I heard
like
inspiration,
an inspired like character or like plot point.
I still don't understand what that means. However, whatever, the only thing on my mind after hearing the word inspiration is Chicago. You're the meaning in my life. You're the inspiration. Yes.
I like how when it comes to like classic songs, you and I have the exact same taste, Sean.
Listen,
And I'm
my
over
dad.
here like, the fuck are you guys singing?
Well, you're a baby. Who cares?
My dad played a lot of this music and continues to play a lot of this music. In his band, my dad's in a band, guys.
Is it
It's a pretty
Kasoko Band?
famous band too. But like, what ideas the creators use to make their stories? Oh yeah, I wouldn't know any of that.
I mean, have the John Titor thing from Steins Gate is actually a really good example. It might be my favorite just because I really like Steins Gate and how that's handled in it. I don't know. I guess the Laughing Man in the first season of the Ghost in the Shell anime series,
Mhm.
being heavily inspired from the writings of J.D. Salinger. I really like that.
Jesus Christ as Harley Davidson in
What?
in Bakuan.
Yeah, the Harley Davidson is literally just Jesus. It's great.
Yeah.
Bakuan is a weird show. Like, you think you watch it for the girls and you don't.
I watch it because it's actually about motorcycles and I think it's pretty cool. It makes up plenty of funny fucking references. Like, again, Jesus Christ literally shows up and his name is Harley David San.
Hey, I'm all here for it.
And then the Stig?
Oh yeah, the Stig, the
Yeah.
one of the girls is literally just the Stig from Top Gear.
Yeah, literally they reference the Stig all the time.
Some say.
I like okay, I have an answer to this question. I like a lot of the Dracula inspiration for Helsing.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I can definitely see there's a lot of Dracula inspiration in there. I mean, you could say the same thing about Castlevania.
I mean, it's
Dracula.
literally both their characters called Alucard, which is just Dracula backwards. Like
Yeah.
inspiration or actual like what it's based on. Let's be honest.
All right.
Well, for Castlevania, it's inspiration. No,
no, it's
Oh,
it's
shit,
just
yeah,
it's
you're
directly
you're
just
right.
taken from it. I mean,
Anyways, next question.
I don't think it's really much of an inspiration. It's just taken from it. So the next question, there's two questions that are kind of involved in this that are sort of related that I'm going to ask at the same time. One comes from Class Ulysses. The other one comes from New Vegas Savior. The one from Class Ulysses says, what story had a unique or promising premise, but the execution was terrible or half-assed? And the sort of related question from New Vegas Savior is, what idea or concept is the most interesting idea or concept from an anime or manga?
Okay, I've got plenty of anime that had a story that was unique or promising. First one being Guilty Crown. Guilty Crown doesn't start off bad. It just goes in a different direction and does like a complete 180 in its story about episode 13, and then it just goes to shit because just like it has to for some reason. Everything
Mention
else,
number 3,827 of John shitting on Guilty Crown in this podcast.
I hate Guilty Crown. Absolutely detest it because I suffered through it, and I will never forgive Guilty Crown for its aggressions. But yeah, I think Guilty Crown itself, the premise of like the entire society and what it's predicated on, works really well. It's just that when you get halfway through, it just like fuck it, everything just goes to shit. It's like, oh, we're just gonna just do everything, and it's like, oh, it's fine, it just has to happen. Like, there's no build up to it; it just happens.
Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just wave your hands and go away.
And Oh My Shoes is just like the worst pro tag ever.
I like how everyone just calls him that.
Yeah, Guilty Crown took a 180 out of nowhere, like every other manga.
Like, yes.
Yeah,
I like how
like,
he wrote down 189. It's not even a 180.
Well, I understood that he fat fingered the 9. It's right next to the 0. But
I know.
Yeah.
It's because Guilty Crown in its first 13 episodes, it gives you like backstory of the world and all this stuff, right? And the powers, but it feels like a slice of life, like comedy. Literally has a beach episode. And then you hit episode 13 and now it's like, oh, people are dying. There's actual war and like genocide happening. It's like, what? What?
How does it go from like 0 to
Exactly.
200?
Exactly. How does it go? Why does it go do that? Your first 13 episodes, it had nothing to do with that. It was just like, oh, war might be happening. Oh, this world is not as good as it could be. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, no, we're walling the city off in genocide. Like, oh, okay,
I've
great.
got I've got one that is in the vein of like it's an interesting idea on paper, just the execution is bad. And you're gonna roll your eyes when I say this, but redo of healer is a good idea done very, very badly.
I don't think it was a good idea. As far as like,
The idea of an evil healer is
so,
actually pretty cool.
okay. In
Evil
my,
healer, sure, but that's like a quarter of the.
okay, quite literally, there's a manga / anime. I think it even got an anime about a healer who's like, she won't heal you because she's sadistic as fuck. She'll only heal you after like you beg and plead. So there already is a evil healer, but it's kind of in the teasing genre more so than like the I'm I'm walking the dark evil side of healer. But Redo of Healer is a top tier anime.
Okay,
Get out of
hope
here.
and
Get out
see,
of
I
here.
guess.
Tier. Absolute top tier.
In terms of like, because Redo of Healer is, I see it more as a revenge anime, and that's not really unique. Revenge anime or like things that happen to you and then you just like get revenge on them, have been around for a pretty long time. Because Berserk, I would say, is probably like one of those stories. Even though the main focus isn't that in the like, that's what the initial goal is, right? For Guts,
Yeah.
like Griffith.
It becomes something very different, but yes.
Yeah. But Blot is a perfect example of like a super edgy, like, oh, I'm gonna get revenge on those bastards type of manga. And again, I'm very surprised Blot never got an anime because it's
Yet.
so edgy.
Yeah,
it's pretty old at this point. I don't know. And
man, the things that they're getting anime adaptations now, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't. And there's plenty of like revenge manga that I've read. There's one that I read already that's like, this guy's, his name is Raul. But basically,
Raw.
yeah, he basically gets betrayed by his party, but then he like somehow seduces the goddess to of reincarnation or whatever, or rebirth or whatever the hell it was, to like help him restart his life so he can get revenge on everyone. And it's like super hardcore fucked up. Like, oh man, I can't. We would get demonetized instantly if I mentioned what happens in the manga. I'm waiting for the revenge manga story to be animated. Yeah. So I've been reading that for a while too, and yeah.
What's the TLDR on that?
It's dude gets betrayed by his the heroic part. He's the hero, and he gets betrayed by his party. So then he when he gets betrayed by his party, he snaps, and he somehow gets the goddess of love, I believe, is what she is, to reincarnate him, like at the like to rewind time basically, but with him with all his powers and memories from the beginning. Then he just like slowly fucks over every person who fucked him over in the most like fucked up ways. Like there's a guy that he literally does he traps him in a mind prison and kills him like 1,000 different ways.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah, so it's just like Itachi.
He like rips out his guts in one. He makes like these other people like freaking. Yeah, it's
not good. It's something that would make Tarantino blush.
It is something that it is a revenge manga for the sake of revenge. Like it's revenge porn, quite literally.
Okay. All right.
Another scene is cannibalism. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Cannibalism is nice.
Yeah, there's like this family of hitmen, I believe they are, where he forces the.
We're just listing off war crimes at this point.
I don't remember if he forces the kids to eat the parents or forces the parents to eat the kids. I don't remember which one it was.
This is making Berserk look very tame.
Yes. This is a very edgy manga, and I think it is going to get an anime eventually because it's pretty popular. But I'm not sure what network would want to put it on display because it's It's pretty gory.
High Dive.
Probably High Dive.
It'll get picked up by Sentai and get put on High Dive because that's where all the super edgy stuff goes these days.
Yeah,
Chinoda, this one has like a good idea that's half-assed done.
This has been talked to death already, but it's an easy one that I can just think off the top of my head. Promise Neverland.
I hear that only the ending sucks.
Yeah, the manga is good. It's the anime that sucks.
Unfortunately,
Well,
I've only
no,
watched the
the
anime,
manga-
and that's kind of killed anything for me.
As far as I know, Classy, he's fighting like Hades right now or some shit, or the god of death. I remember. I'm not up to date on it. I think I'm like 2 or 3 chapters behind, but he eventually goes and fights gods in the
Gonna
the
punch
edgy.
God in the fucking face.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that as an achievement in one of my in my game. It's
Punch
gonna
God
be
in
like
the face.
an ordinary stick, and when you pick it up, it's like defeat God. That's the achievement. A +1 attack stick, defeat God.
Defeat God. Amazing.
But yeah, my wife tells me that Promise Neverland's anime is apparently super terrible how it ends, but the manga is
Yes.
slightly better, but it's still not that much better. Like, it's kind of like how Soul Eater or what else was? I think it was Soul Eater. Those Dead Man Wonderland. That's the other one I was thinking of.
Soul
Where it's
Eater
like-
has a terrible ending.
Yeah, Soul Eater is goddamn awful. It's a disappointment.
It's
Waste
so
of my
fucking
life
sad. It's so sad.
because it's so
So
good.
much potential.
Yeah,
but it
'cause,
was
yeah,
was it
it's-
really good or see? I haven't done a retrospective on Soul Eater since high school, since I finished reading/watching. Yeah, reading it and then watching it.
Yeah.
But
Actually, Soul Eater might be a good anime for us to do like a spoiler cast on at some point.
Soul Eater Spoilercast 2024. Look forward to it.
it. Like people are like, "What? What is Soul Eater?"
Oh,
I
it's
just
a
remember when
valid
it
anymore.
first came out, everyone was
It's
like,
very
"This is gonna be the
popular.
Naruto killer, man. Just
Yeah,
you
yeah.
watch." And I'm like, "Okay."
Rising of the Shield Hero is a good premise, but bad act. Yeah, Rising of the
Yeah.
Shield Hero is supposed to be a revenge story, and it just turns into just your stereotypical isekai.
It
With,
really
like,
does.
no
I'm
revenge
watching
plot.
it still. It really has turned into that.
Yeah, it's just
Better
like, oh,
executed, I will say, but it completely went away from revenge story.
yeah, that's like. I'm not going to talk about Rising of the Shield Hero. I hate it. I hate on it, but I don't hate it as much as like I hate Guilty Crown. So
you have a reputation to maintain with Guilty Crown, man.
listen, I would box Guilty Crown if I could.
So kind of piggybacking off of New Vegas Savior's idea about an idea or concept that is really interesting in anime and manga that may have been done well.
Hold on, Classy
Oh,
says, "Gate is a
wow,
good premise
Classy,
with
you
bad
want to
execution."
fight? You want to fight me?
Gate is
I
a
didn't
good
think Gate
premise
was
with bad
terrible.
execution. Yeah, Gate isn't awful. It's like a good like 6.5, 7 out of 10 for me.
It
He's
fell
gotta
really
go.
hard after 2 episodes in.
Shinoda has to go. He heard Gate and he's got to go. It's just fucking awful.
Yeah, I didn't hate Gate. I mean, I think it gets a little bit repetitive because it's like depends on how far you are in the
Can I just say, after
manga.
like the first 2 or 3 episodes, it becomes painfully obvious that it's just JSDF propaganda.
Yeah, it is just JSDF propaganda. Whoever writes it just loves the JSDF.
Oh, he's back.
Oh,
Is he coming
he's
back? Is
he's
he coming
back?
back? I got to see what he's got. He's got something.
He's did he bring back his Rory Dakimakura?
Yeah. Did you bring back your Rory Docky? What the hell?
I just wanted to say there's a reason I went and picked up the Gate
Ah!
Collector's Edition. I fucking love Gate. Fuck off, Classy. It's great.
It's 70% fan service and harem and 30% action. Yes, that is true. That is 100%.
It's like 90% of
accurate.
isekai.
Though it's a reverse
70%
isekai.
fan service? I
Yeah,
don't
no,
think
it's still
it's
an
that.
It's not really-
isekai.
It's not really a reverse isekai because they do go to a different world.
It's
Oh,
kind
they
of a
travel
It's
back
kind
and
of both.
forth.
They come to ours and then we go to theirs.
Yeah, they literally travel back and forth.
I just love that in this world where they have dragons. It's like, you know what beats dragons? Gun. And I'm like, you know what?
RPG, bitch.
Well, I find it very hard to imagine a world where dragons existed where we couldn't just destroy them with RPGs anyways, or heavy gunfire. So
Let's be honest. If dragons are real, not only would human beings find a way to hunt them, we would hunt them to extinction for their leather.
Or their
Sir,
meat.
we wouldn't be hunting them for leather. We would be hunting for some other stuff.
No one's gonna fuck a dragon but you, Chinode.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. There's a lot more of
Dude.
us than you think.
This dude.
Jeez, it's just a giant lizard. You guys are gross. Go fuck sharks. but not that kind of shark. I have chosen my words.
Moshi Moshi
poorly.
FBI.
Hey, I saw an opening, I took it. Just like on Gura.
I'm pretty sure Gura's like 30 something, but okay.
That makes it better.
What was the next question? Good ideas.
The question was like a concept or a premise that's a good idea and was done well.
Good concept and was done well. Code Geass season 1 and 2.
Yes. Yeah, I was gonna say the exact same thing. Like
Good
the
premise.
setup,
I loved it.
the setup from the very beginning is done so well, and they play it through all the way to the end, and it's oh my god, I love Code Geass. Another anime we should do a spoiler cast on. And I guess we have a long time ago, but we should do it again.
I don't know. Is it even relevant? Do people even care?
Well, they keep making new seasons because apparently the first two weren't enough.
Alex, what are you talking about? There's
Yeah, I know. There's only 2 seasons of
Geass.
Code. I know. There's only 2 seasons of Code Geass. We have established that.
They are known for hardened skills. What? Seals? What is that? What is that word you're trying to spell there?
I don't know what that word is supposed to be. I'm assuming it's seals.
Itami as an MC is so bland. He's like mega OP. I know, right? He's like, I understand that because quite literally, they're like, oh yeah, Itami's special forces though. They're like, what? Him? The dumbest fucking guy in the show? He's special forces?
Can I just say?
No, that actually makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I know some of those guys. They are very fucking stupid.
In terms
Geniuses,
of isekai, in terms of isekai like MCs that are OP, like it's one thing I don't really like that much in isekai because I feel like it's so overdone. But one where it's done really well to a great effect is in Eminence and Shadow.
Oh god.
Oh, using the OP MC trait. Yeah.
Well, I think it's done well because it's almost played for laughs.
It is played for laughs.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, it is.
Eminence and Shadow is not serious whatsoever. That's why it's good.
Scales.
I would
is the word he
argue
was trying
it
to go
is
for,
and
by
it
the way.
isn't. Like everyone else is so serious about the world and everything going on, except this one fucker who's the most powerful fucker.
Yeah.
He's
but
like,
it's just
fuck
all
you,
a
I
joke.
drop a nuclear bomb on you. What are you going to do, bitch?
Listen, if anyone out there hasn't seen Eminence and Shadow or knows nothing about it, I need you to understand. The show is about a man who decided I can't fight against nukes without learning how to shoot nukes myself. So he harnesses the power to shoot nukes.
That's it. That's the whole story. That's it.
That's the story. There you go.
The power of pure luck and bullshit is on his side. And also against him.
Is it really on his side? I don't really know.
It's both on his side and it's not. It's so fucking great comedy-wise.
All right, so next question comes from New Vegas Savior. Who are your favorite side characters in video games?
Who's my favorite side character in a video game? All right.
Dom from Gears.
He's not a side character. What?
Isn't he a side character?
I'm assuming by side character, you mean
He's
like
the
not the
second
main player character.
He's like the second player when you play with
Yeah, but that's if you're playing as, second player.
Oh my god, who's the first? What's his
name?
Marcus
Phoenix.
Marcus Phoenix. Yeah, I was like, who's the first player? Yeah, Dom is like I guess he is a side character. Oh god, his wife. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
The story.
Yeah. I legit. It's one of my favorite all-time game
I like
stories.
the gag characters. What is
Carmine.
Yeah, there's like 7 twins or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, the
brothers. Is it Carlos? Who are they? I don't
Hold
remember.
on,
I haven't played Gears in so long. I played Gears, I think 4 or 5 when it came out. It was the one that was free on Game Pass. And I was like, wow, Gears has really fallen off. So then I stopped. But I do remember the Carmine Bros. Yes.
Yeah, it's the Carmine family. Yeah.
Yeah. The gag character where like there's like a million of them and one of them dies.
And I have Benjamin, Elizabeth, Gary, Fredo.
Fredo?
Sandman from the Call of Duty
Fredo.
Modern Warfare 3, not the
Fredo.
new one, the OG.
It's like Frodo, just misspelled. I have an answer for this. So one of my, I don't know if he's my favorite side character ever, but he's certainly up there, definitely into my top 3. And I will now recite one of his more infamous quotes. Query: can I kill him now, master? I would like ever so much to crush his neck, just a little. It is a long time fantasy of mine. HK-47 from
let's
Star
go.
Wars Knights of the Republic. I love HK-47 in those games.
As
So
soon as
funny.
you said query, I'm like, fucking HK.
Trying to
Also,
think of
you hear that meat bag? I will be back.
There's a canon version of HK called Mr. Bones. Basically, his programming comes from HK, and it is so fucking cool. And it's on a B1 battle droid. Except it's made out of bones. It's so fucking cool.
I can't recall any side characters at the moment. I really wish I looked at the doc beforehand to like
So
jog my memory. Yeah. Fuck, I don't know, man. I have plenty of cool side characters I like in video games, but I can't remember any of them right now.
Jason Todd from Batman Arkham Knight. Okay.
Because I'm only thinking of like recent video games, and I'm like, what am I playing? Genshin, freaking Project Sekai, and Apex. Like, there's 3 games I'm playing.
And only
Mr.
like
Bones is very sadistic. That's HK-47 in a nutshell, man. I'm trying to think if there's any other like side characters that have ever really stood out to me in games. And I can't think of any off the top of my head. HK-47 just left such an indelible like mark on my memory when I played those games. Because he's so unabashedly evil.
I like Otacon from the Metal Gear Solid series. Him and Snake having their bromances all the time.
It's just like a scene in one of my Japanese animes.
Oh, the bad voice
I've
acting.
never played the Metal Gear games, and I know those lines.
The bad voice acting is so good. It's so good.
Oh man. All right. And so the last question we're gonna get to, I really wish Natai was here for this question. It comes from Classy Ulysses. Do you guys watch WWE? If so, then what is your favorite era, match, and superstar? First of all, I want to say Natai loves wrestling, professional wrestling of all kinds. If you ever want to talk to him, he has his own personal channel in our Discord server. Tag him, ask him any question you want. I guarantee he knows the answer.
All right.
And he'll go into a whole episode about it.
I only watched WWE when I was younger. Like, we're talking 5th grade and below. And the only person I knew or really liked was The Undertaker. Just because, like, his choke slam was just, like, crazy. He'd always come out on stage and be so fucking edgy. Last Ride to Hell. It was a really cool move, in my opinion. I really also liked Stone Cold Steve Austin because the Stone Cold Stunner was fucking hilarious. He kicks you in the nuts and then turns around and just like, it's so funny.
I mean, I'll give him this. He played that character of a pissed off Texas redneck really well.
Oh, dude, have you seen his documentary where he talks about like when he first started wrestling? He was poor; they weren't paying him yet. He was doing backyard wrestling, and like he used to eat. He would go to this because he was so broke. He lived in a trailer, I believe. He went to the store and he bought like a bag of potatoes and just ate them like raw because he couldn't afford to cook them.
Dang,
it's crazy.
That is poor. Bro, that is poor. No, I haven't seen it. I probably should.
Yeah, and like when he broke out as Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's when he started making money and stuff, and he's a pretty cool guy. I'd drink a beer if he made one. I'd drink his beer.
Yeah.
I think he actually does have a beer now. I think it's called like Stone Cold Brew or something. Yeah.
I grew up watching. I don't really watch wrestling anymore. But I watched wrestling in like the mid and late 90s. So I kind of grew up during the Attitude Era of WWE, which was great because it's some of the best stuff you ever saw. My probably favorite wrestler back then, I hate to say it, it was probably The Rock. I can't do the eyebrow.
The eyebrow.
Also, fun fact: The Rock was on Star Trek Voyager.
Was he?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Huh.
He's on an episode of Star Trek Voyager, and he played to his strengths. He played a wrestler.
To my knowledge, the internet hates him now because of the fires in Hawaii.
I don't understand the
Wait, what?
hate that much. I've heard that. I don't know.
I don't know. Him and Oprah like teamed up to do something, and
I can tell you 100% based on how he looks right now, he is definitely on the juice. That is not natural.
Yeah, I don't. As far as I know, after the Maui fires, him and Oprah partnered up to do something, and people were pissed off about it because, like, I think it's
Was
like
it
a
some
scam.
charity they hooked up with that turned out to be a scam or something?
I don't really remember. I just know that the internet hates him now, and I'm like, whatever. The internet hates people. The internet is so fickle.
I know, like all you gotta do is like put one toe like in the water when someone says don't do it. And they're like, "You're a bastard, and we need to kill you."
But I also know that apparently in The Rock's contracts, he can never die on screen, and he has to be like a cool action hero.
Damn, he better hope he never dies in the ring. He's gonna break his own contract.
I just know that like in most of his movie contracts, like actually in every one of his movie contracts, it's like that. Like he can't be seen losing a fight or anything like
I
that.
think
either.
he's definitely the most successful wrestler that's crossed over into mainstream acting. That's for sure.
Well, the cracks started to appear when Black Adam, the movie that he stars in, where he's the main character, he's Black Adam. It didn't do very well at all, and he was hyping the crap out of it, and people were like, "Your movie kind of sucked, dude." And he was so
He took it
aghast.
personally.
He couldn't
he
take the
did.
fact that people were criticizing the movie.
Yes. And he was just like making up lies about how well it was doing when it's like we have the box office numbers, Dwayne.
Yeah. We have the numbers, Mason, and this is what they mean.
Yeah. So I do remember can you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Yeah. Going back to that just for a second, it's amazing to me how so many people, and this isn't just a Hollywood thing, this is like creative types in general today. They can't take criticism of their work, even if it's valid criticism. It's like, no, what I made is perfect, and if you don't think so, then fuck you. Like, it's such a like contrast to how it used to be. And I'll give you a good example of what I mean. I'm gonna reference Star Trek again. I'm sorry. But there's two particular episodes of Star
He's
Trek.
not sorry.
I'm not sorry.
Don't believe him.
I'm not sorry.
He
at
loves
all.
talking about Star Trek.
There's two episodes of Star Trek, one from Voyager, one from Enterprise, where the
Like
people
Star
who
Wars,
wrote,
I sleep. Star Trek, real shit.
the people who wrote those episodes realize how bad they were, not just from the fan reaction, but they're humble enough to realize these were fucking bad and they never should have been made. That they came out and said, yeah, they're really bad. We're sorry. We just don't consider them canon.
Damn. That's
I don't know. I feel like creative types not being able to take criticism isn't anything new. I just think that with social media as it is nowadays, it's just a lot more open to the public when people get
Prevalent,
upset
yeah.
by these things.
Yeah, it's more prevalent.
Before you used to would just bitch to your friends at lunch about like all these haters and people don't understand. Now you go take to Twitter and you do it, and then everyone else goes like, "No, that's a bad take." Like,
yeah, and then the
L take.
the people who make it see all that and they're like, "Rawr, rawr, rawr, rawr."
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like if you're a creative type and you make something that a lot of people are saying, in fact, a vast majority of people are saying are bad, maybe it's bad, and you should like take that and learn from it.
apparently it's much harder for people to take
Indeed,
criticism.
Class Ulysses. Cough, Last Jedi. Cough. Yes.
Cough the entire sequel trilogy. Cough.
Yeah. Really though.
Again, maybe I'm gonna watch Star Wars. I'll watch all 9 of them, and then I'll be like, you know what? The sequels were the best ones. I'm gonna be a
Oh, God.
contrarian. Fuck you guys.
God no.
I know that in
Come
terms
over.
of effects, the sequels obviously are better because they,
The
they
CG all
date
to
them
hell.
by like they date them by like 30, 40 years. So
Yeah. In about 30 or 40 years, they'll look awful because the CGI will be bad.
yeah. But
yeah, that's the last of our questions. I for the WWE stuff and any wrestling questions you have in general, ask Natai because he will talk with you for hours about wrestling in our Discord server.
Yeah, I can only remember it fondly as like when when it was just was it Raw and WWE?
Yeah.
I think that was the only things around.
Yeah, that was like every Monday you got to see Raw, and it was like a continuing storyline that you could follow.
Yeah,
It was
Monday
crazy.
night, Raw, Monday
Raw.
night.
All right, so let's get into what we're actually going to talk about for this WTF. I feel like the first thing I want to talk about, I feel like I can spin into something that Shinoda wants to talk about. So I'll talk about this. Earlier this week, the GTA 6 trailer finally dropped. It's real. I promise. I knew it was real. It's like Santa. I believed and it came true.
Not
I'm
like if we didn't
very
have a massive leak about it a
I
couple
know.
months ago.
I know, right?
I didn't even see any of those leaks,
I'm
honestly,
impressed, actually.
Yeah, as
bro.
much
They
as they
were
were kind of
everywhere.
everywhere.
I don't pay attention to anything on the internet. I don't care. Like I've come to the realization that my life is a lot happier and better the moment I quit Reddit.
Understandable.
Dude, like all Reddit is just people farming clout, botting, showing off porn, or just trying to make your fucking day bad.
I feel like you could say that about a majority of social media, though, not just Reddit.
Oh yeah, I quit Facebook like a year or two after. No, yeah, like literally a year after I graduated high school, I quit Facebook. I said, "Fuck this. This is horse shit. Everyone just bitches about stuff and they don't really care about anything. They're just doing stupid like, ooh, woe is me." I'm like, I don't give a fuck about any of this.
The
Like,
Florida
fuck
Man
all of
trailer.
you.
Yes, that's exactly what the GTA trailer was. The Florida Man trailer.
Yeah, I'm excited they're going back to Vice City or
Yeah,
yeah,
Vice
it's Vice
City.
City, right?
Yeah, Vice
Yeah,
City.
it's apparently it's not just going to take place in Vice City. It's going to take place in the whole fictional state of Florida within the GTA universe, which is called Leonida.
Hmm.
So that's cool.
But yeah, watching the trailer, I was very impressed with the population density. That looks like it's in-game engine.
It all. Oh yeah. So Rockstar has a history, especially since GTA 3, of doing all their trailers. It's all rendered in-game engine.
It looked beautiful. And I'm just like,
Now,
how
because
many?
it's a trailer though, you can
Mhm.
put a shit ton of post-processing effects to make things look way better.
You
Oh,
So,
could.
absolutely.
take it with a grain of salt. Like trailers look better for a reason. It's post-processing effects. But if they keep that population density while in game, I'm not sure how the consoles are going to be able to handle that. Like that's
Yeah. I feel like
ha-
there's a lot of PCs, even with modern specs, that would struggle.
well, it depends on how complex your AI is for your NPCs because that's what causes your CPU to like overload. Like
Hmm.
for example, in 7 Days to Die, um oh, RP the senior programmer too. He just died recently.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Um but in 7 Days to Die, the AI on each zombie is super complicated because it has like a bunch of tasks it has to do. So
Mhm.
it bogs when there's more than like 20 zombies spawned in at once, it bogs down your computer by a shit ton.
Mm.
So it depends on how complex that
We,
is.
we we saw that live and in person in one of our streams we did
Yeah.
when there were like 30 zombies on stream. And my computer's like, I don't know how to handle this, man. You're on your own.
Yeah, because the AI is too complicated. There's too much math going on in your CPU, so it freaks the fuck out. But I don't think GTA has ever had complex AI in it. Like I think it has very basic AI for at least the pedestrians.
Yeah.
But I just take that with a grain of salt because the last Grand Theft Auto I played was
Was it Vice City?
no, it was Vice City Stories on the
Oh,
PSP.
okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say it was the what's that one? The oh my god. GTA 3?
That takes place in
GTA
Liberty City.
that takes place in Liberty City, but no, the California one.
San Andreas.
San Andreas, yeah. I was like I played that one on PS2, but on my PSP I played Vice City Stories.
Hmm.
And Phil Collins makes a surprise appearance in that game, by the way.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Also, in the GTA
Yes.
6 trailer, they use Tom Petty song. I was surprised about that.
Yeah, in Vice City Stories, in the PSP version, Phil Collins is like the last mission is protecting Phil Collins at a concert.
Which
So
is a very
you're
80s thing to do, right?
you're like in the rafters and people are trying to assassinate Phil Collins, and so you're just killing people on top of the stage while he's singing "I can feel it coming in the air tonight." And you're like, what is
Nice.
this? Yeah, it's so funny. And Phil Collins does actually voice himself in the game. He shows up and does like a line of coke, and I'm like, yeah, that's
Yeah, it
okay.
seems like Phil Collins. Yeah.
It's
I'm
pretty
wondering
cool.
because Tom Petty went on to social media and was like really hyping this up, and like I'm wondering if he's gonna feature in the game somehow.
Probably. I
That'd be
hope
pretty
they
cool.
revisit their roots because like the last Vice City game that they made was Vice City Stories on the PSP. So it's been a
Yeah.
while since we've been back here.
And it seems like in the trailer, they really did their research because a lot of Florida Man and Florida Woman stuff is featured in that trailer.
Oh, literally, I saw it. I was watching. I'm like, this is all just
Hey,
Florida Man
even
news.
Florida Joker appears. I was surprised.
Florida Joker.
So the in the trailer, the guy with the tattoos all over his face and like the
Yeah.
colored hair, that's Florida. That's a reference to Florida Joker, who was a real guy who got arrested.
Oh, I did not
Yeah,
realize that.
And the guy who the actual Florida Joker guy is threatening to sue Rockstar Games over it.
Freaking classy.
beautiful.
PSP. No, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Yeah.
Right?
No, I've been a hardcore Sony fanboy for the longest time.
You know that the only thing I think about is Crony on one of her streams is like PS1. Is that the portable one?
I mean, so the PS1
Florida
did
man
have a
indeed.
portable like a screen attachment that you could put onto it, and it had this battery pack that you could put onto it, so you could put it on road trips. I remember looking at that on the PS1 Mini, I believe is the one that had the like the display that you could flip up, and it's on top of the disc.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
remember seeing that when I was little. I was like, oh, I want that. I can play video games on a road trip. No, you can't. You'll throw up. So don't.
uh, if you're wondering, the song is about loneliness. Yeah, the Tom Petty song they use in the trailer is "Love Is a Long Road." It's a great Tom Petty song. I'm really hoping his music features heavily in the game too. I love Tom Petty as music; he's fucking great.
It's probably in the radio station that they'll have.
Oh, I would, yeah, because the trailer music for all the trailer music for GTA 5 appeared in the in-game radio stations. So I'm assuming all the trailer music we see in GTA 6 will also appear. Um,
No, for In the Air. Yeah, In the Air. I Can Feel It in the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. It's about loneliness and depression.
oh yeah,
Uh,
I mean, Love Is a Long Road could also be about loneliness too. I mean, it is kind of a song about loneliness. Um, the twerking chick, yes, that's also a real. The twerking chick on top of the car is something that actually happened in Florida.
They
bro,
just took
that's just
events from
normal at
Florida
car
and put it in the
meets.
See,
trailer.
for
Yeah, I was
everyone
like,
out
yeah,
there,
that's just normal at car meets. I don't know what you're talking about.
for everyone out there who's wondering why are they taking so long to make this game, it's because they were doing research and they were stuck in Florida because there's so much to research when it comes to Florida Man and Florida Woman.
They
I
went
don't
to
know.
Florida to research, got mugged, and got stuck there for a
Yeah.
while.
It took them like
Every
6
time
years
they
to get back.
every
It was
time
the
they made a
alligator that
build,
mugged them.
yeah, every time they made a build of GTA 6, an alligator would come out of the bushes and eat the server. So
Yeah. Also, one thing I wanted to point out is that there's a lot of people, and I agree with a lot of these people that are saying the trailer actually tells the story of the game in reverse. I 100% believe that. Because you start out with the main character, which we're getting a female lead for the I won't say the first time in GTA, because you could be a woman in GTA 1 if you wanted to be. Um, but it's the first time in like the HD universe, which is what they call like 4, 5, and 6. Um, do you want to answer that phone?
I made it. Don't worry.
yeah, you can play as the guy or the girl. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
And it seems like the girl is actually supposed to be the. It is woke. It is.
Yes,
woke.
yeah. Listen,
Oh,
Lucia is probably gonna be, let's be honest, is gonna be who we all play as. Fuck Jason. I think
I
that's
think
the
most
main
people will.
guy's
Yeah.
name.
I mean, I'm probably not. Again, I haven't played GTA since Vice City Stories, so I'm probably not gonna pick it up.
But yeah, I think the
I'm missing.
trailer
I got to
does.
play 4 and 5 first before I play 6.
I think the trailer does tell the story of the game in reverse, and yeah, according to Rockstar, the like general feel of the story they're going for is like a Bonnie and Clyde type thing. So that's kind of cool.
No, I absolutely got that vibe from the get go. I was like, oh, cool. That's what they're doing.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it personally. I've been a fan of the GTA series for a long time, ever since GTA 3. According to the trailer, it's coming out in 2025, so we got a little bit longer to wait.
Oh wow, okay. I thought it was
Yeah.
2024.
No, it's so apparently the actual release date was on a t-shirt in the background in one of the shots. I don't know.
Oh,
That's also something Rockstar has a habit of doing, is putting like these very like background detail things in that are supposed to be hints at the actual larger story. Um, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be like March, April 2025.
I'll believe it when I see it, because who knows how many times they'll end up
2025
delaying
will
it.
be a stacked year, not just for games, but for movies as well. I'll be broke as fuck.
Oh, absolutely, buddy.
I
R.I.P.
I am predicting though, when this game comes out, within the first 2 weeks, it'll make $1 billion.
I mean, what game?
That's
So funny you mentioned that. Video games are trying to reach this crazy milestone of like make $1 billion because other video games are doing it. They're like, all right, if we don't sell at least $1 billion worth of stuff, we failed as a video game release. And I'm like, you know how rare that is to make $1 billion
Yeah,
off of a fucking video game? You guys are crazy. These
it can be
producers,
done.
these video
But
game producers or publishers are just fucking nuts.
they see money, they see greed. That's all they see.
Yeah.
But to kind of tailspin off of this into something Chinoda wanted to talk about. Hey, Chinoda, how about those game
the
awards, huh? I mean,
2023
excuse
Game
me. How about those
Awards,
Baldur's Gate 3 awards?
the
Yeah,
sweep
I heard that
awards.
BG3 sweeped.
It didn't sweep. It got like half the awards, and Alan Wake 2 got the other half.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Alan Wake 2 and Baldur's Gate 3 basically just won most of the awards. Like I believe Tears of the Kingdom only got 1 award.
Yeah, and that's it.
And
And
people were
I was
like,
just like, holy shit. But at
And
the
it's
same
like,
time,
if you had asked anyone like in July or in
yeah, in like
July,
June.
they would have
Yeah,
said, "Oh,
June,
Tears of the
July.
Kingdom's got this wrapped up this year."
Yeah,
because
no.
it was so amazing. We had no idea what else could be possible compared to
Yeah, I
Tears of the
watched like
Kingdom.
an hour-long video of some guy, or it was like 30-minute video of some guy doing a TLDR of what happened at the Game Awards. And basically, I believe Final Fantasy 16 won best soundtrack of the video game soundtrack of the year,
Yeah.
which is like, oh, okay, that's cool. But apparently everything else sucked. I think that Super Mario didn't win anything. Or
One
no, it
best
was
family
it
game,
won.
I think.
Yeah,
Didn't
best
it?
family game. That's like the only thing it won. They
Yeah,
curve
and
stomped Spider. Yeah, apparently Spider-Man 2. No, it didn't win anything.
it got nominated for I think 8 awards and won 0 of them.
Yeah, it got nominated for 7 or 8. It won
I
nothing.
honestly felt bad for
Spider-Man 2
them. I
fans
was
are
like,
giving us
yo,
hell.
like the game
I mean,
actually
let's be
was
honest.
pretty
Spider-Man
good.
fans been taking L's for a while.
What are you talking about? The
That's true.
Spider-Man, like Miles Morales, is really good. I don't know what you're talking about. It's a really good game.
Okay.
No,
Oh
it
yeah, Armored
actually
Core
I haven't
won
played it,
Action
I
Game
can't
of the
speak.
Year. I
Spider-Man
believe,
2
yeah.
was a great game as well. I didn't play it, but I've watched plenty of it. It actually was a damn good game.
0 out of 7. God damn, they got.
Oh, it was nominated
stomped.
for 7 awards and one. I mean, still, that's bad. That's a bad
Yeah.
batting average right there.
But to like, Baldur's Gate 3 is just too good. And I haven't played Alan Wake 2, but
They did
Can I say there was
incredible.
no fanfare? There was no fanfare around Alan Wake 2.
You don't understand. All right. In video game college, we had to study Alan Wake 1 so much. I fucking
You've
hate
talked
Alan
about
Wake.
this, about how everyone just sucks the dick of that game.
I hate it so much because it's like everyone in the video game industry and everyone as fans of the video game, they just love Alan Wake. It's like, oh, it's so good. It does this so well. It does. And I'm like, yes, the designs in Alan Wake are amazing. Yes. The story is amazing. Yes. Everything about it, from the the direction, the lighting, everything about the game is perfect. I understand this. Okay. I get it. I fucking hate it. You know how many times I had to review Alan Wake during school? Too many fucking times. I don't care.
John just doesn't give a shit anymore. He just
No.
wants to be done.
I thought I could escape Alan Wake once I graduated. Nope.
I'm just
Can't.
I'm just surprised that this game, as much as people seem to really enjoy it, there was so little fanfare around it when it launched.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, again, since I don't have Reddit or Facebook or anything like that, like I don't get any news from anyone about this stuff. Like, who's gonna tell me? Freaking internet weirdos.
Is your source of news like our Discord server when people post stuff?
Basically, yeah, I don't go on Twitter. Like, I
Oh
go on
no.
Twitter for, like, 5 seconds, and I'm like, "Oh, look at all this stupid bullshit." I don't and they're pushing all these tweets that I don't care but from people I don't care about and, like, all these political ads. I'm like, "I don't give a shit."
Hmm.
Hogwarts
Hogwarts Legacy
Legacy,
should have won,
bro.
but I understand in a
What a-
business perspective. uh, um,
Oh, I was involved in my first Twitter fight that involved
oh,
the V
congrats!
Wow,
Did you do an uppercut?
congratulations.
Congratulations. That's
I'm sorry that you had to waste your time like that.
Um,
You know what?
Twitter.
There is one lesson I did learn from Reddit of all places, where some guy was like, "You know, I used to argue with people online, and one time I was arguing with this one dude, and then I clicked on his profile and I found out that he drinks his own piss. So I don't argue with people online anymore because it could be someone who drinks their own piss." And I'm like, you know what? That's a very good point.
yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And I
Was
think
this
about that
was
all
this
the time.
person
And I'm
Bear
like,
Grylls?
no, it's just some internet weirdo where because on Reddit, when you visit someone's profile, it'll tell you what communities they're active in.
Hmm.
So this guy was active in like the piss drinking communities. So
I'm
he's
gonna
just
tell
like,
you
why am I
something.
arguing with this fucking like guy? Like he drinks his own piss, and
I
like
still feel like
it's a
Bear
very good lesson
Grylls.
in like not giving a fuck.
I still feel like Bear Grylls is to blame for the rise in people who drink their own piss.
Hey man, if you want to drink your own piss, that's cool and all, but I'm just saying the opinion of someone who you don't know could be an opinion of someone you wouldn't respect their choices in. So why do you care?
True.
Like I don't care to take criticism from people I wouldn't care to take advice from, you know?
No, that's
That's
fair.
actually not a bad way to put that. Why would you take advice from people you don't want or who shouldn't be giving criticism?
Yeah, why would I be taking criticism from people I wouldn't take advice from?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like that doesn't make sense to me.
Um, so I did want to point out massive L taken by the Video Game Awards 2 years in a row now, having this on a Thursday night trying to compete with Thursday Night Football. Good
I
job
wouldn't say it
there.
was a massive L. I know
Yeah, I
that
would
people were
disagree with
complaining
that.
I watched a
about
Thursday Night Football game.
Okay, good
No,
for
I'm
you.
saying
Most gamers don't.
yeah, like most gamers don't. Like it's a very Alex, it's a very very small overlap of video game nerds and like sport nerds, okay? Very small overlap.
Yeah. It's there. It does exist. I know several people, such as you, that are like that. But overall, in the big picture terms, most of us don't give a shit about football.
Oh, I watched the New England Patriots stomp the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, I don't like the Steelers because they stole our first opportunity at a
Oh, here we go.
Super Bowl ring.
Here we go.
However, fuck the Patriots for taking our 2 in a row. So
it's like, who do you hate more in this situation?
well, because of recency bias, I would hate the Patriots more because they stopped our 2 in a row, right? So this is like my new lifelong enemy, the Patriots. Fuck the Patriots.
So there is a legitimate complaint about the video game awards that I want to air, and like I've seen this online in multiple places as well. Everyone's like, yeah, this was kind of fucked. The video games award this year, like every year there's brand new announcements, shit tons of trailers. It's very corporate, and that's how it is. Sure,
Yeah.
whatever, we accepted that. It's a huge advertisement platform as well. We said okay to that. That's fine, so long as we get to do, you know, fun little showcase for games. This year felt a lot more forced. This year it felt a lot more corporate in terms of
yeah, they only gave like a couple minutes to everyone to accept their award and get
Oh,
the
not
fuck off
even
the
a
stage.
couple
60 seconds.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, like was it Hideo Kojima, right? He's talking about was it
OD.
OD? Yeah, his new horror game coming out and how he's going to be working with
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele. Yeah, which is great. I love Jordan Peele.
Yeah, that's actually a cool combo.
Yeah. Like when Kojima was supposed to be working with Guillermo del Toro to make PT, but that never happened because it was going to be Silent Hills and Norman Reedus. Anyway, I'm still salty. Not was it Capcom? No, Konami. Who the fuck
Konami.
canceled it? Was it Konami? Yeah, I'm still salty. Konami, fuck you. I'm never getting over this. Norman Reedus could have been in my Silent Hill game, and that would have been awesome. And it would have had Guillermo del Toro, and I like Guillermo del Toro. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, I heard that. I saw the wrap it up, like please wrap it up giant sign as Kojima's trying to explain about his game, It's like, okay, I get it. Like Kojima can go on for a while. He's very self-centered. Kojima is like quite literally after the earthquakes, he tweets out, "Don't worry, guys, I'm okay." Like, no, fuck my studio, fuck everything else. Let the world know I'm okay. Like, god damn it, Kojima.
I
But
mean, we as gamers
listen,
have really put him on a stool, so to speak.
You mean put him on a pedestal?
yeah, a pedestal.
A
Isn't it
pedestal.
pedestal?
Pedestal.
Yeah, not a
Pedestal.
stool. Yeah.
I was
But
stool as in
yeah,
like
I
shit,
understand
but
that
okay.
people were very upset that celebrities and stuff were coming out to like just announce the next winners, and people were just like, "What the fuck? Like, who cares? We don't care." Because again, video game people don't really care about celebrities as
Yeah,
much as they care
fucking
about like,
Matthew McConaughey showing up. I was like, the fuck are you doing here?
all right, all right, all
All
right.
right. Was he
It's
the
the
one
only thing I
that
remember
did
from Matthew
the thing
McConaughey.
about VTubers?
No. Wait, maybe?
I don't
I don't
know.
I don't
Again,
know.
I
even
didn't watch
remember.
the. It was like 4 hours long, apparently. The
Yeah, it
VGAs.
was long.
It was like, geez.
Yeah,
A
and then they
lot of
only
it
give
was
people
the
like
pre-show.
60 seconds to yeah, come on, man. Come on.
But no, so when they were doing that, when the devs actually went up to accept their awards, they only had 30 seconds, maybe 60 seconds to talk about whatever, and they played the wrap it up music, and they had a giant board counting down in the back that we couldn't see. And
Oh,
it's like
don't
when it
worry.
got to the
People took
end,
lots of pictures of
oh,
it.
people took lots of pictures. I'm very happy about that because it felt straight up disrespectful to me because I'm like, yo, I understand this runs on ads, but we are here for the awards and to hear these devs that like made these beautiful art pieces talk about it for a little bit. Don't just give us maybe a minute to listen to them. We
Okay.
want more.
So I like to play devil's advocate because I'm a bastard, right? I'm one of those guys.
Yes, we know.
Like, but the VGAs was already 4 hours long, and from all the categories, if they were to give every developer and every person accepting an award 5 minutes each, that thing would have ran like
7
8 hours,
hours.
dude. Yeah, it would have been too long. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
absolutely. No, there's a
So, in my opinion, I understand why they had a hard time limit. I would hope that the organization and organizers of the event let everyone in on it and like, hey, you're only gonna have like X amount of time for an acceptance speech, right?
Hmm.
I would hope that they gave that out to everyone ahead of time because that'd be fucked up if you showed up and you're like, oh, also BTW, when you accept your award, you got 30 seconds. Like that's messed up. Uh, so I feel like maybe they should split it up into different categories and just do a speed lightning round or make it a multi-day event or something, dude. Like do something else, you know?
Multi-day event I think would be good because then you could split the awards into like technical awards and like narrative awards.
Yeah, like make it a long running thing because if it's gonna, it's insane to me. It's like you have 60 seconds, wrap it up. Like that's crazy. Kojima
Yeah.
cannot wrap anything up in 60 seconds.
hell.
My God, the man has a 90-minute cutscene for fuck's sake.
Hell, even for the Game of the Year award, they only gave a brief amount of time. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? This was the
Like,
big award.
this
This is
is
what
the big,
everyone looks.
yeah.
And they started doing the wrap it up thing when they were talking about one of their staff members that passed away during it. And I'm just
That's
like,
not a good
what
look.
the fuck? This is Jeff. This does not look good.
But apparently, yeah, like Kojima went on for like 8 minutes or something, and it's because Kojima and Jeff are like really good friends, so they didn't
Oh,
wrap
they're
up
buddy
Kojima.
buddies. They are like
So,
super
it's like
close.
I know that people were pissed off about that because like Jeff, there's a little bit of favoritism going on right now.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's definitely a better way to do that. And I think John's idea of having it like be a multi-day thing where you're splitting the awards up is probably a better idea. Someone on Twitter, and I don't know how true this is, so take it with a grain of salt, but did like a comparison and make like a little chart that showed the percentage of time that was given to different things in the video game awards. 18% of the broadcast time was awards.
Jeez. Yeah,
Uh,
I understand that if you did it as a multi-day thing, it would cost a lot more money to operate. Like quite literally just adding a second day, you're doubling your cost because you're flying all these people out to accept these awards. So you're you're posting them into hotels, you're paying them to show up to accept your
Paying for the
award.
flights.
Yeah, and you're paying for the venue. So you're literally doubling your costs. So unless you can double your income from doubling your costs, why would they do that? And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, there are certain ways to monetize and there are better ways to do it. Like don't hire actors then. Don't I'm pretty sure they took a shit ton of money out of your budget
Yeah.
to
I
hire actors to
like,
show up to your fucking awards. No one cares.
I will say from the clips that I have seen, it seems like all of them were desperate to try and recreate that thing that Keanu Reeves had a few years ago where he's like, "You're amazing." Like, come
Yeah,
on.
they're trying to catch lightning in a bottle. And it's like, dude,
You
good
can't
luck.
do that and when you're trying to do it. The reason that thing became as cool as it was because it was spontaneous, because it was off the
I would
cuff.
argue the reason it became as big as it was is because Keanu is very authentic as a person.
Yes.
So that was a very authentic moment.
Yeah. I agree. Keanu Reeves is peak human. I mean, he seems to be up there. I've never heard anyone say anything bad about him.
Yeah. We wait like 30 years when he passes away, and like all of a sudden, like all these dark secrets come out, and we're like, oh my god, Keanu was a terrible human being. He was a vampire this entire time.
now talk about all the salty Spider-Man fans losing their minds. Oh my god, there was a fucking meltdown on Twitter about Spider-Man not winning awards though, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
I was
doesn't
surprised it didn't
surprise
win
me
anything because
whatsoever.
I've only heard high praises for Spider-Man.
It has fair criticism, sure, but overall, it was pretty damn good.
Twice? I only heard about the one time. Yeah, Keanu Reeves' house got robbed this week,
I didn't
and they
even
stole one
hear
of his
about
Rob
it.
Keanu.
they stole one of his firearms. Now, I want to point out to you, there are 4 very good movies out there that show you why this is a very bad idea.
That's insane. Why would they rob Keanu? What bastard people would do that?
And take his firearms of all things.
I feel like it's either targeted or it was just random robbing kind of thing.
Was he the most hated actor in Hollywood up to The Matrix? Really?
I know he's an actor who he only does roles that he actually wants to do. Like he doesn't do roles for money.
Like I'm trying to think of what was he in before Matrix? Clerks? Was that before Matrix?
The first movie was, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Most award. Oh, most. Wait. You mean most awarded actor? I'm not sure what you mean. Oh yeah, Bill and
Oh,
Ted's
he was
Excellent
in Bill and
Adventure.
Ted,
That was
yeah.
another one.
Oh, Bill and Ted. That's what it was. Yeah.
I mean, I have heard people say that he's not the best actor, and I'll be honest with you, like he's above average, but I wouldn't say he's like the best actor out there.
I wouldn't say he's a good actor. He kind of just plays Keanu, you know? Like
Yeah, yeah.
Blade
Oh, the
teaser.
Blade teaser.
I thought it was cool, but it showed literally nothing. So I'm like, cool, I'll keep an eye on that. But that's literally all. It showed nothing. It didn't tell anything other than the fact that it takes place in France. So
Fucking
that's kind of
France.
cool. Yeah, they talked about it after they showed the teaser. The French devs came up. They're like, yeah, it actually takes place in Paris. So I was
And
like,
then they
okay,
immediately
that's
went on
cool.
strike.
Constantine. Oh yeah. I liked him in Constantine. Well, I just liked the movie Constantine. So it wasn't so much Keanu that made me like it. It was just the concept of Constantine is cool, in my opinion.
Oh, you're talking about the fact that Keanu's won the most Golden Raspberry Awards. Okay, I know what you mean now. By the way, Haida.
Blade game will not come out in 2027. What? They didn't
Wait,
even
is
give
it
a
that
release
far
date?
out?
Wow, okay.
It's like Bethesda announcing Elder Scrolls 6.
It'll come out.
It's like 8 years
Eventually.
away. It's fine.
I feel like so with drip marketing, which has become super commonplace these days. Have they not learned from Cyberpunk 2077?
Right?
Like,
Have
drip
they not
marketing is
learned
real
from
bad.
No Man's Sky?
Yeah, right.
Don't get me wrong. Drip marketing works. Baldur's Gate 3 was wildly successful because of its drip marketing, but also because Act 1 was out in beta for like 7 goddamn years.
And
People
they learned
played the
from
first third of the game, or the first like 40% of the game for the last 7 years. That's why it was so good of a game.
This.
Hida,
Did
calm
anyone else
down.
witness Todd dying inside? I didn't see that, but I did see that picture that someone took where it's him like just looking over someone's shoulder, and it's so creepy. Why does every picture of Todd Howard make him look like a creeper?
It just works.
unfortunate
It
timing.
just works.
I did mention it in the game channel that the Arcane team is working on it. The same people who did Dishonored. Yeah, Arcane is
Yeah,
the
it's
same
hella
studios that
hype.
did Prey.
Yeah.
But they released a flop recently. Redfall, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Which I think was published by Bethesda.
It was.
yeah, Arcane is they're partnered with Bethesda
Yeah.
Bethesda publishes a bunch of their games. But
Yeah.
yeah, I remember Prey was I loved Prey. Like, it's the best Arcane game ever. They also had the other one. What was it? Deathloop?
Arcane's
Was that?
not partnered with Bethesda. Bethesda owns Arcane.
Do they?
Yeah.
Do they? I thought they
yeah.
didn't. I thought they just were working together. Oh, okay.
No, they're owned by Bethesda.
The day after development. What was that?
Y'all see that crap show? No. Starfield should have won.
Should've won.
Oh
Yeah.
God, let's
What was I gonna say? Shit, it's gone now. My brain is gone.
Was there anything from the Game Awards trailers that you guys saw that actually piqued your interest? Let me ask.
No, again, I didn't watch any
No.
of it. I just watched the recap.
Okay, even from the recap, was there anything
They
announced that
They
No.
didn't show anything other than like they just talked about like the actual Game Awards and then the trailers in the video I
okay.
watched. Oh, new Monster Hunter. Yeah, there's like an open world Monster Hunter now coming
Yeah.
out.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was
heard
pretty
about
cool.
that.
I mean, I'm pretty hyped for that.
What was it? Monster Hunter Wilds?
Yeah, Wilds, I think it was.
Yeah.
Hold on, I shared it.
Suicide Squad killing the Justice League trailer looks hype. I mean,
I could not care less about that game. Like, maybe the story, I'll take
I'm
a
a little
look at it.
tired of the Suicide Squad just because it's like it's being marketed so heavily with like the movies, the anime. Like everything is like, oh, Suicide Squad is doing really well. Let's make a bunch of spin-offs. I'm like, I don't care.
I feel like it's too little, too late. I feel like if it had been done 5 or 6 years ago, maybe.
I think DC is hemorrhaging money because Blue Beetle sucked ass, Black Adam sucked ass, and now they're like, well, look, Suicide Squad is still pulling in money. Let's dump all of our resources into that. That's what I think.
Yeah.
And I don't think it'll work, honestly. I think it's on a downward spiral until they do something
Suicide Squad
drastic.
Isekai will be peak anime.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see how it goes.
I'm gonna watch the Isekai. But speaking of Suicide Squad Isekai, would you consider that an anime, Chinoda?
Oh, here
I
we
took
go.
it out because I didn't want to talk about it.
Here we go.
No, we talking about it.
Okay, fine. Hold on.
I hate this argument. I really do.
Listen, you're the one who wanted to talk about it, Chinoda. I'm
and then
you
I
the
took it
platform.
out because I didn't feel like it today. Fucking hell. You brought it back. You son of a bitch.
I had because there was recently a different one I was looking at, Super Crooks on Netflix. It's like, is that an anime?
Super what now?
Super Crooks.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
So it was made in Japan, right? But it's based on a graphic novel that's not Japanese. I think it's American.
I thought it's Canadian, isn't it?
Is it Canadian? I don't
It's
remember.
North American.
It's
some kind.
Western.
Yeah.
It's a Western graphic novel that was animated, and it is an actual anime. It was made in Japan, but it's based on like a Western graphic novel where like it's supervillains. It's like they're the bad guys and they have superpowers, but it's an anime. It's like, well, normally I say, okay, for the sake of argument's sake, like I said in the chat, in my opinion, anime is anything animated, right? SpongeBob is Western anime. You go to ask
That's exactly
any
how the Japanese look at it.
Japanese, anything cartoon is anime, right?
Yeah.
Japan. For whatever reason, outside of Japan, everyone's like, "Oh no, there's cartoons and there's anime." It's like, kind of.
It's
that's
because
just because
us weebs have a huge stick up our ass. That's why.
SpongeBob is my favorite anime.
Dude, the crackhead fucking SpongeBob commercials in Japan, Jesus, the kids are all hyped up for the SpongeBob toys from McDonald's. God,
yeah,
they're putting crack in them fries, man. But it's like, I understand why there had to be a difference between cartoons and anime, right? Because cartoons for a very long time was like Disney, family friendly. It's like anime doesn't like I'm gonna stop calling it anime like in Japanese person. I'm gonna call it anime now, like a Western person.
Anime.
Anime doesn't fall into that niche, right? Where in back in the day, even in like the freaking 90s or early 2000s, it was like anime was pretty like we had Ghost in the Shell, right?
Yeah.
We had
Akira.
Akira, right? So it's like cartoons back then were pretty family friendly for the most part. Like
More
there
or
was
less.
a couple of less than family friendly ones, like the oblongs and all that other crap.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
I mean, I feel like that's a pretty cartoon. You know what? No, Jessica Rabbit's too hot.
And just like that, John got his first boner.
No. It was
Believe
the
me,
fish
not just
animated
John.
piece. It was the whole world, the collective boner. Lola Bunny, bro? Space Jam? Why they gotta do it to us, bro? Huh? Anyway. That was the first time Lola Bunny appeared. Why they gotta do it to us? Like that.
I wonder
Tell me.
how many furries were born on that day.
Probably
how
half
many-
of them, at least.
I wonder how many lesbian awakenings were caused on that day.
Probably half of them, at least. But yeah, so for that point of view, all cartoons are anime.
This
Courtney
right
House was
here.
an okay. Nah, I don't know. Season 2 kind of was a flop in my opinion. You know, but I can see why people would argue like a Western cartoon like Arcane not being an anime.
Mhm.
All right, because it's like it's not based on anything in like anywhere remotely close to Japan. It's all Western. It's a Western property animated in Korea.
Which one are we talking about?
Arcane.
France.
It was animated
Really?
in France. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's animated by a French studio.
That's
Yeah.
actually
So like
cool.
Fortiche, I think is what it's called.
so basically it's the furthest thing from anime. And so I understand why people would be like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
not anime.
Like Arcane made by a French studio based on a property created in California.
And I would argue that Arcane doesn't follow any anime tropes or anything like that. Like nothing traditionally what you would consider anime. Like what we've come to expect from anime. But I would argue the same thing for things like Cowboy Bebop, Trigun. Not very
Panty and
anime, are
stocking.
they? Panty and Stocking. Not very anime, are they? And then, speaking of Panty and Stocking, the art style of Panty and Stocking isn't very anime, is it?
Not
It's very
at all.
Western.
It's stylized, but it's not
It's very
like
stylized, but it
Japanese
seems like
style.
a Western cartoon, doesn't it? It looks like
Yeah.
something you'd watch on freaking Nickelodeon.
Or Inferno Cop.
Yeah, so it's like it. I think the
Hell,
argument itself is
Inferno Cop
dumb.
looks like something you would straight up watch on Adult Swim.
Inferno Cop looks like something that Matt Stone and Trey Parker would make in their spare time. Let's be honest.
So, in my opinion, I think that all cartoons are anime. It doesn't matter. Honestly, it really doesn't.
I
But
mean, if
for
you go
the
by the
sake-
strict Japanese definition, you're right.
But for the sake of our award shows and stuff like that, I think we limit it to anything that is broadcasted in Japan, as in
the
created for the purpose and broadcast in Japan.
For our anime awards that we do every year, the Finny Awards, we have 2 stipulations for it to be. Well, there's more than that, but in terms of it being an anime, we have 2 stipulations. It has to either be created in Japan by a Japanese studio, or it has to have some connection to Japan through like copyright. So like Arcane for what we do is not considered for our awards, but something like Castlevania is, because Castlevania is a Japanese property.
Yeah, and like Suicide Squad Isekai would technically qualify for an anime award as well.
It will.
Just like the Marvel like movies that they made in Japan that no one ever talks about ever because apparently
where Dio is Deadpool.
Is he Deadpool?
Yeah, he's the voice of Deadpool in those movies.
I did not know that. Oh, whoa, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen any of the Marvel animes, but I would consider them anime.
Yeah.
Because again, they were licensed for the express purpose of being made into a cartoon with a Japanese dub. Like it's
You
supposed to be broadcasted in Japan.
You could say the same thing years ago. They did an anime adaptation of the graphic novel series Witchblade, and that's American as fuck.
Yeah, like
That was Gonzo that did that, by the way. There's a name you probably haven't heard in a long time.
Wait, Witchblade's a Western property?
Yeah, it's a Western graphical novel.
I did not know this.
And again, Super Crooks, Western graphic novel.
Yeah.
That's actually wild.
Yeah. So what made you change your mind about talking about this, Chinoda?
Because he didn't want to have this argument.
Because you got bodied by me?
No, because I have a sore throat and I didn't want to end up talking too much about this. Like it hurts to it doesn't hurt to speak, but the air is coarse and rough.
Like sand.
Attack on Titan is not my favorite cartoon.
No, so fuck, where was I even at on this? I think most of what most of us weebs want is a way to differentiate it from everything else. To call it ours is the main thing. That's why we want to call it anime versus just cartoons, even though literally all of it is just cartoons. We just want something to make it different, to make it special to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, but it doesn't freaking matter, dude.
At the end of the day,
it doesn't
really
matter,
doesn't.
But it matters to people. You feel me?
It's like one of those things. It doesn't matter, but it matters to me.
Exactly.
Sure. If you really have that much of a stick up your butt about it, like, sure, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I to me, it's kind of a silly argument. I think the way we do it in our award show is a pretty good
I speak a different
delineation.
language, right? All animations are cartoons in my language. When you talk about it's cartoon, but in like an Asian accent, it's cartoon.
Cartoon.
Yeah, basic cartoons. All anime and all cartoons are cartoons in my language.
Yeah.
So I'm saying how I would reference an anime in my native tongue is to call it a cartoon.
Yeah, and that's absolutely fair. Honestly, it really is, though.
All right, so let's move on to let John talk about something he wants to talk about.
Oh my god,
because he has a long list here.
I had to fill it out because you fucks only had you had 0, Chinoda, and you had one thing.
I had something. I just didn't put it on the doc yet.
I added a couple of these things last night.
In typical WTF fashion, I am apparently the only interesting person here because I'm the only person who has ideas to talk about stuff.
I always forget to write them down in our chat, and then I
created a Discord channel for you to do this.
I know, and I don't use it, and I should.
Anyway, Marie Kondo was right. If it does not spark joy, this shit needs to be yeeted to the stratosphere.
So, John, did you know that she changed her mind on that?
I don't care what she changed her mind. I know her as if this does not spark joy, throw it away. And I recently had to move. If you guys haven't noticed, I have a brick background now, right? In my little anime wall. I love John Rants. Thank you, classy Ulysses.
Well, strap in because you're about to get a few of them.
Moving sucks, right? No one likes.
You didn't even move into a new house.
No, I just moved to a different room, and it's just like Jesus Christ. When did I buy all this crap? I don't remember buying half of this shit.
Half of that shit was Lacey's. Is the problem?
No, most of the shit is my wife's. But point is, the stuff I made 3 giant trash bags of crap that I just threw away because I was like, first of all, I don't know where I'm gonna put this in the new space. I don't know when I got these things, and I don't care about them. Like I had a bunch of Overwatch posters, and I don't care about Overwatch anymore. So I threw them all away except for the Diva one because Diva's still hot. So I'm gonna keep that one. But yeah,
Marie Kondo was character in Overwatch. I didn't have...
Probably, I think she's like 19 or 21 or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Listen.
Get out there.
There's a reason why she has the most amount of porn tags. Okay.
I mean, let's be honest. The Blizzard didn't even need to make the game. They just should have made porn movies with these characters.
It was thanks to Blizzard making the game that made the porn industry better, bigger, and better than ever.
There's a reason why, as soon as Overwatch 2 was released, the character models were gotten very
Listen,
quickly.
listen. Coomers are the ones who help advance
What?
the world.
I didn't know how much I
Not
did
even the
not.
Reddit language, the fucking 4chan language.
I
You
did not. I did
fucking
not
asshole.
know. I did not know how little I wanted to hear John say "coomers" until he said it.
Listen, in this world of Coomers, Zoomers, and Doomers, right? Only one of that group is actually helping advance the world. Advancing in a very terrible way, but advance the world
Well,
regardless.
specifically advancing technology.
But I still like Diva as a character. I think she has a really cool character design. Like I like the mech suit, right? I like her character. But everything else, like all my other Overwatch crap, I just like fuck this. I don't care about this. GTA 6 not even Jesus. I told you,
You know,
man.
the only thing, one thing that I always think of when people start talking about Overwatch characters is something I heard earlier this year. You remember when like the AI presidents thing was popping off really big?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
hilarious. I loved
So,
them.
someone did the AI presidents do like a tier list of Overwatch characters, and May comes up, and of course it's Trump, Obama, and Biden. And May comes up and he says, "F for fat, C for Chinese, split the difference, give her my D."
Oh, that's a terrible joke. I love it.
I love that so much. It's just not right, but I love it.
But yeah, I just threw a bunch of shit away. Things that I don't care about, things that I don't use. I remember I used to have this rule of if it's something that I don't use within a year or something that won't pay for itself the first time I need it. Because there are certain things that you don't use it until you need it, but when you need it, that's the time it really shines, right? Like
Yeah.
for example, a snow shovel. A snow shovel here in my state, it doesn't snow that bad where you would want a snow shovel, right? However, when it does snow really bad, all the fucking snow shovels are sold the fuck out.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like the first time you need it is going to be the only time you want it, but it's going to be the best time to have it. Okay.
I've always
So,
lived by that creed. Like, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
That's how
yes.
you end up becoming a hoarder.
Well,
if you're
there are
not
certain
careful.
things where I'm like, you know what? This makes sense to have. Like a snow shovel. It doesn't take up too much space. It sits there. And if I ever need it, it will be the best investment because I swear to God, for whatever reason, everyone else doesn't have snow shovels. So when it starts to actually snow really bad, everyone runs to the store and buys them all. Like quite literally. So there was an event called Snowmageddon where it was just like freaking 7 inches of snow like every day for like 3 days, and like basically Washington, the city of Seattle shut down for 2 weeks because of this
Nice.
event. Okay? People were buying snow shovels at Home Depot for like $20 a pop and then reselling them to other people for like $50 a pop.
Nice.
Like no shit. So, because of scalpers and shit like that, it's
Free
just
market.
yeah, free market, woo! American dream, baby. But yeah, it's dumb. So I own a snow shovel and I had to use it. I've used it twice so far in my lifetime of owning this snow shovel. And I'm like, great. I haven't had to buy another one since. But there are certain other things where I'm like, why am I keeping this? Like, I used to have something, what I would call the computer graveyard, which was a desk drawer full of computer cables.
I was
of,
about
like,
to say, is this your cables?
It's all my cables and all my electronics for like building computer stuff that like I might need this. It's like, you haven't had this bracket and used this in like 7 years. Why do you have it still? And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Toss that shit. So I've learned to let go. And I've been just throwing shit. And I can't tell you how many times I just wanted to rent a dumpster to put outside my window so I could just throw shit straight into a dumpster.
Right into the trash.
Like I had to put them into bags, and I had to haul them to the actual dump to throw them away. And it's just freaking annoying.
You know what's funny is I'm at a point now. I have this, which I got a second ring light, and this came with it. It's to hold a phone,
Yeah.
to put it like in the center, and you can
Yeah.
bend this, and it
Yep.
can hold your phone. I'm probably never going to use that ring light to hold a phone,
Throw it
but
away.
I'm gonna fucking keep this
No.
in case I
No.
ever need it.
Throw it
do
away.
it. Don't
Throw
do
it
it.
away. Throw it away. When, Alex, let me ask you something. when do you ever envision yourself using your cell phone with your ring light for whatever reason?
The only thing I can think about is if I was doing something to record a short for our YouTube channel.
And how many times have you done that so far?
0.
And how many times in the future do you think it would happen?
0.
Throw that shit away.
There's the answer to my question.
Just chuck that motherfucker. Come on, man.
Or better yet,
Okay.
make profit on it, sell it.
No, I fuck selling shit. I hate selling shit secondhand. Like so one of the things I wanted to throw away was my PS3. I have my PS3 still, and again, I'm a Sony fanboy, but I have sold my PS1 and No, I still have my PS2, but I've sold my PS1, but I still have my PS2, and I still have my PS3. I sold my PS4 to my friend, but we have 2 PS4s in our house, so it's like I don't need a second one. If I wanted to play PS4 games, I'll just play it on my wife's PS4. But I want to get rid of my PS2 and my PS3. But at the same time, it's like, well, these are kind of collector's things now, because video game consoles are just, when they get older, see, exactly. So it's like there are certain things where you can't throw it away because it is a collector's thing. Like my memory cards don't fucking
my
work.
GameCube.
Yeah, and that's a collector's item. You know how much they sell GameCubes for right now?
Probably
you can go
$200 or $300.
You can go to a retro video game store and buy them for $150.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yes.
Wow.
It still works. I don't have
Yes.
any games for it anymore, but it still works.
So video game consoles are different in my opinion because these become, at a certain point, they become a collector item. Like my PSP, my PS Vita, I still have those.
And especially if they're in good working order.
Yeah, mine still work. And I'm like, it's a collector's thing. I could sell it if I want to. I don't want to deal with resellers for video game stuff because there's a lot of people who are in that market, like retro video game stuff, who flip stuff, like old video games and such. And it's just annoying dealing with lowballers. I'm like, oh, fuck that. I'll keep it as a collector's item until it's so rare that then I'll be like, all right, $5,000, easy, sell it.
Got it.
Hopefully it ever gets there. If it doesn't, who cares? I mean, I don't really care. But I like having the older video game consoles. So that's kind of a different thing compared to like my fucking trash electronics drawer.
At least you know the old games are going to play on it if it still works.
Yeah, and one of the biggest problems that I had with like Sony, for example, is during PS3 era and PS4 era, they refused to give you the old games. You can't. There was no backwards compatibility on PlayStation 3s unless you got the very first PlayStation 3 they released. And that was the one that overheated and fucking destroyed itself. So no one has that. I have the newer PS3 Slim. So I couldn't play PS2 games, so I kept my PS2. And they refused to release any of those games. Then the PS4 came out, and they refused to let it do backwards compatibility again. So you still can't play PS3 games on your PS4 unless you buy it through the store, and there were the shitty remasters.
When I got my Xbox 360, that went through a red ring of death too because it overheated.
Yeah, the first gen of like a bunch of these consoles. So, and it wasn't until PS5, like I think like 2 or 3 years after PS5 launched, that they're like, okay, we'll let you play retro video games. And it's not even great. Like the controls, they don't, like, it's terribly ported, it's not optimized and shit like that. And it's like, so you're telling me if I want to play the best experience of this video game, I need to have a PS2 or PS3. So I would make an argument for video game consoles being like that. Like, good luck playing any fucking Vita exclusive or PSP exclusive. Those are never coming out ever.
If I remember right, I actually, on my old 360, I actually have like 1 or 2 games that they took off the market. So if the only way you could play them is if you have it downloaded, and I still have it downloaded on that console. And I'm like, that's actually super fucking rare.
Yeah. You know, since we're speaking about this and like backwards compatibility and stuff, I wasn't planning on talking about this, but it kind of reminded me. Did any of you see the news? I think it was earlier this week or maybe late last week where Sony says that there's stuff if you bought it on the PlayStation store because they don't have the license anymore. They're saying, well, we're just going to take it from your library. And even though you bought it to own it, you don't own it anymore.
Yeah, and that's the problem with digital purchases. It's like I'm
just saying, buy physical media.
Yeah, physical media has a purpose because, one, they can't take it away from you. You bought it. It's yours now. You own this license to own it now. Mm-hmm. You own a license to own a copy of the game. It's what you do when you buy a physical copy.
Anything digital you buy can be taken away.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah,
No.
and there's nothing you can do about it, which sucks.
And it's just
Yeah.
it's all about licensing agreements. And if a company says, "Hey, we don't want to license this stuff anymore," bye, it's gone. It's just gone.
Yeah. I
So my
really do
point is,
think that the laws need to change around that aspect and make it so
I
that when you
mean,
buy something,
I don't know if the laws need to be changed because it's like,
Companies should be shamed into doing the right thing, though.
well, I
sometimes
understand
shaming
the
isn't
legal
enough.
precedence of it all, right? Like, you don't own a license to this game. You own a license to own a copy to play this game when you buy a physical copy of something.
Mm-hmm.
That same license is given to you when you buy it through a digital store, but the company has to pay a licensing fee for that. If they don't want to pay for it anymore, because they're like, look, there have been 5 downloads in the last year for this video game. Why would we keep paying them money to keep this on their store?
Yeah.
It makes sense. And it's like, yeah, in that case, this is if it's a game where there's literally only 5 downloads in a year or something, like it's not big enough of an impact, it's fine to get rid of it. And if you really love that game, go get your own physical copy. There exists a realm for that. Fucking ask archive.org to archive it.
Yep.
There's another website that archives a bunch of old video games where they save them as ROMs and
The
stuff.
thing that really bothers me, and I'm surprised there wasn't a bigger outcry over this, when Starfield released, right? The like collectors, whatever they call legendary, whatever they're calling, like the big giant thing that you buy for like $300 or whatever, doesn't come with a physical copy of the fucking game. I'm like, can you at least put on a thumb drive or something? Come on.
No, they can't. They don't want to.
I know they don't want to. They want that download code that maybe
They
one
don't
day will
have to.
expire. Who knows?
Yeah. So physical media is a dying medium, but it does serve a purpose.
Yeah. I like how there's some directors out there that are like, yeah, I'm not putting my movie on streaming services. Fuck that. You can buy a DVD or a Blu-ray though.
Which is fine.
Was it Christopher Nolan said that about Oppenheimer? He's like, yeah, I really don't like the fact that this is on streaming services. I think everyone should just go out and buy my movie on Blu-ray.
Which is fine. Like, if your movie performs that well, like Oppenheimer did, I think people would buy the physical one because, like, I saw it at the store yesterday when I was there, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to buy this.
Yeah,
because I really enjoyed watching Oppenheimer. I'd love to watch it again in Blu-ray in 4K in my house, so I could take piss breaks.
Yes.
That's the main thing.
Yes.
But we've traveled so far from Marie Kondo.
I know, right? This is
Point
the John
is-
Rants that Classy Ulysses loves.
Point is, collectors or something that has like value, some sort of value to you, either now or further down the road. Sure, I think it's hard to decide what will have further value, but let's be completely honest. Like, look at this. This scientific calculator that I used for school, I
Oh.
don't use this shit no more.
Shit, I had one of those. I still have it.
My TI-84, I could sell this. I still haven't. I should sell this.
I have a box full of my old textbooks from college.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
get rid of
worthless
it.
now.
I just noticed this too. I didn't even see this. I'm like, you know what? I should sell this online. Someone else needs this. I'm gonna sell this to someone.
I mean, to be fair, that is something that someone else probably could use.
Yeah. But then there's other things where I'm just like, you know what? Oh, look at this. I have a Miku watch. It doesn't work
Nice.
anymore. I got this from, where did I even get this? I don't even forget. Miku Expo, I believe. Yeah, I got it at
Probably.
Miku Expo. I don't like wearing it. It sucks. It's not a cool watch. I still have it though, because it's sentimental value. That's like fine,
Yeah.
you know. But look at this. I have an HDD bracket. I don't need this. I don't have HDDs anymore. Fuck, yeet. Fuck that.
Get rid of what you don't need is the TLDR of this.
Or find
Yeah.
someone who does need it and give it to them.
I'm going through my entire. Oh, actually, I love this. I love this Pugly wallet. I'm keeping it.
That is actually super adorable.
It's so cute.
Actually, Alex makes a great point. If you have something that you don't need anymore, give back to your community. Give the
Someone else might need
someone
it. Like
in
the
the community
calculator.
will take it. Yeah.
I can't use
Yeah.
function calculators because that's considered cheating. Okay, listen here. AI is a thing now. Tell your
AI isn't cheating.
tell your professor to shut the fuck up.
Alpha Wolfram isn't cheating. Are you kidding me, bro?
Yeah,
Oh
right.
my god. All right, so I gotta
ChatGPT isn't
go
cheating?
pretty damn soon. So I want to get into my
Okay, tell me
topic
tell me
real
about
quick.
Godzilla Minus One. I have
Okay.
heard nothing but accolades for this damn movie. I want to go watch it.
Bro,
too.
it's not just accolades. I straight up think this movie is a masterpiece. Like 10
Okay,
out of 10 masterpiece.
is it related to anything else like Shin Godzilla or anything like any
Not
other?
at all. And that's one of the things
Okay,
that makes it so fucking amazing. It is a straight up Godzilla
Reboot?
film from the past. Like it is just a classic post World War II monster movie. Just and
okay.
no complicated bullshit, no ancient civilizations, just giant monster from radiation comes out pissed and starts fucking up Japan. That is
Oh
it.
yeah, that's a classic Godzilla movie.
And let me
Prove me,
tell you
Shinoda, that
this.
Godzilla Minus One is great despite being in WW2.
It's not in World War II. It's after World
It's
War II.
post-war, like
It's
Reconstruction Japan.
post-war. Yeah, it is Reconstruction era Japan. Um, it is beyond wonderful. A lot of it. So I'm sure you guys have heard or seen the complaints about Shin Godzilla with a lot of human elements that
Yeah, hate it.
just utter garbage,
Yeah.
complete
I
nonsense.
like
does
the
not
Doesn't
design
matter.
of Godzilla and Shin
I mean,
Godzilla.
other
No,
than
it's really fucking cool.
I like Shin Godzilla. I just hate it. Like in all the Godzilla movies that they recently have remade, I hate the fact that I see people. I don't care about the
Yeah,
people.
the human element.
I don't care about the stupid
Now,
petty human drama.
in Godzilla Minus One, the human element is predominant. It is the main thing. It is what matters.
Okay, hold on.
And they pull it off
I
so
need you to
fucking
understand something.
beautifully.
When the
Okay.
USSR and USA reunite together, they beat God. This is a nuclear monster. You shoot nukes at it, you make Godzilla stronger. What the fuck are we gonna do? You call upon Mothra. That's who.
Yes.
The protector of
upon his-
Earth.
Call upon his big titty girlfriend.
Yes.
Get her to calm him down. No, but seriously, it's what was I saying? Oh yeah. The human element is what actually matters and what makes the story so poignant. It's what carries everything, it's what matters, it's the best parts of it. Godzilla's cool. Godzilla's cool as fuck. And when he's there, he steals the goddamn screen. But outside of that, the human elements, that's what carries this movie so hard, and it is beyond amazing.
Okay.
Let me put it like this. There was not a single dry eye in my theater. I mean,
me put it
people
like-
were
Shinoda, let me have you understand something. I just like watching giant kaiju fuck shit up. I love
don't
watching
worry,
mechs
there
and
is that.
kaiju fight. Okay,
There
is
let's
that.
be honest. I don't care about anything else. All you had to say was, "Hey, Godzilla movie good." Like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go watch it. That's all I needed to hear.
Look, you already heard that, so I'm telling it to the rest of the people.
People are
It's a masterpiece.
I've heard
Listen,
Dear God,
I don't
watch
think
it.
you understand that the people who watch Godzilla don't watch it because they're like, "Oh, I wonder if this is good or not." They hear what Godzilla movie? Yeah, let's go watch the Godzilla movie.
Mothra's my girl. Okay, calm down. I have heard people, both critics and just general audience goers, saying like
Fucking
unironically,
Gamera, the goddamn turtle,
right?
the Gamera.
Unironically, people were saying that this is the best movie of the year.
Oh wow,
I
okay.
honestly think so. I really
Like,
do.
if people were saying this is better than Oppenheimer, I'm like, holy shit, really?
I think it's better. Oppenheimer didn't make me cry like a little bitch. Godzilla did.
See, Oppenheimer didn't make me cry, but I was so enraptured in the story of Oppenheimer.
It was moving. It was definitely moving.
Because I didn't know all this stuff about Oppenheimer, so that's why I thought it was really cool. Like, I think Barbie was a fun time, but I really enjoyed Oppenheimer a lot more.
I do think that from what I've seen, I'm planning to see this movie tomorrow, as a matter of fact. But from what I've seen, a lot of the destruction scenes are practical models, not CGI, and that's pretty cool.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That really harks back to the old school Godzilla movies. Then
Now Godzilla
there
is
is a-
CG, but
There is a scene that straight up looks like a kid playing with Godzilla in Tokyo, and it looks so fucking cool.
I'm gonna have to go watch it. I'll
Oh,
probably go watch
buddy,
it.
you have to. It is only in theaters for a limited amount of days, so go do it soon.
I don't. They said it was only going to be in American theaters for a week, but it did so damn well at the box office. It was like, no,
They
we're bringing it back
extended
for
it,
another
yeah.
week.
Oh shit! So I have like a week left to watch it.
No, you have until the 14th,
if
I
it does
remember
good for
right.
its second, it was the
Really,
number
the
one.
14th.
I think it was number one movie in America last week. Is
No,
Kong in the
Kong
movie?
is
No.
not in the movie. It's literally just Godzilla. It is an OG Godzilla film to the bones. It's the 75th anniversary movie. Yeah.
Has it been 75 years? Wow.
Yes, sir. It's
Long
really
time,
been
yeah.
around that long.
Wow. I mean, we're
Okay.
coming up on the 100th anniversary of World War II. So
Wonka is coming out next week. Oh God.
I saw a
The
trailer for it.
third?
It's a prequel movie.
Yeah.
And it's
Is this like
weird.
the third freaking reboot of the Wonka series, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, was Gene Wilder the first Willy Wonka movie?
It was
Yeah.
the
Is
first
one?
film adaptation of it. Yes.
Okay, and then after that we had Johnny
Johnny Depp.
Depp's version.
And now we
Right,
have
so-
Timothy Chalamet.
All right.
This
I'm not
man
gonna
is
watch it.
everywhere, by the way.
I
Right.
don't care about Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, man.
John.
Man, 2? That's coming out? Oh God, poor DC.
Oh God, that's actually
They really
happening.
are hemorrhaging a bunch of money. No wonder they're pulling all their money. They're gonna hemorrhage even more money
John,
because
I
Amber Turd
gotta
is in that one,
go,
right?
but I gotta ask, what's the TLDR of weebs invading your neighborhood? I
Oh,
I
yeah,
saw
I
that.
got-
I'm like, what the fuck is that?
All right. So in my neighborhood, I started to notice people having like anime little stickers on their cars, right? Like my
Peeker
younger sister
stickers.
has, yeah, like peeker stickers, right? And I started noticing like Jujutsu Kaisen ones and like just a bunch of like just anime theme things.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, and I'm just like, this used to be a nice neighborhood. There used to be no fucking weebs here. All right. And then all of a sudden, I was driving home and I see this dude roll up in an freaking Itasha, and I'm like, "Yo, look at that Itasha wrap!" And I'm like, "Who the fuck is that giant big titted Onesan on the side of your goddamn car, bro? Like, holy shit!" I was like, I looked down the street where he turned, and I'm like, "There's a shit ton of anime weeb cars over there." I'm like, "Where did these guys come from?"
Like, who are these people? Why are they here?
It's crazy. So that's just the TLDR. I just started noticing a bunch more weebs. I don't know if it's because people are like, have they always been here? Or are they
Yes.
just finally like expressing themselves to be like anime fans? Are they new anime fans? Where did these guys come from? I don't know.
I think it's a mix of all things, honestly.
It's like, it's sure, it's fine. Like, there's a dude at my work who has an Itasha. He has like a lowly Itasha, and I'm like, bro,
Nice.
you're a goddamn degenerate. I can't believe you work. Listen, I don't know.
Who is it on the car? Tell me now.
I don't know who she is. I honestly don't know. I just know it's like a lowly and it's an Itasha and it's very lewd. And I'm just
Take
like,
a
bro,
picture of it later.
One of
I'm
my
not.
people.
I refuse to take a picture of that.
The FBI will be tracking him down if he takes a picture of that.
I'm not taking a picture of that. I don't even. It was when I was working second shift, so in the afternoon. I don't even know if he still works here, to be honest. So, but I'm just saying it's weird seeing so many like peeker stickers and like Itashas around my neighborhood. Because as far as I remember, my neighborhood used to be just full of like old white people. And then that was like mainly my neighborhood. Where did all these weebs come from? Like, are they just living with their grandparents now? They're like teenagers or whatever. I'm like, I guess. Well, I don't know.
Maybe. I do think it's funny how in the last, I'd say 5-ish years, people have gotten pretty. People used to have to hide the fact that they liked anime, and now it's like I've got big titty Onesans on my car.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think in the last 5 years is when it started really coming up and about.
Well, I mean, people have been anime fans for a lot longer than that, but I mean, people are very
No, I
openly
meant
fans.
it becoming popular. I think that's happened in the last 5 years is the thing. I think that's when it really like started turning around.
I don't know. It's weird to see because
like,
as someone who's been an anime fan for a long time, I never thought we'd get this far.
Well, specifically at work, there's one guy who wears like the hashtag not sponsored, but gamer subs. The gamer waifus, like the
Not
GG
sponsored
waifus.
yet.
But
Finn
you
will
know the like
become a Gamer Subs waifu, I swear to God.
so the gamer subs waifu cups and stuff like that. You know how they print the shirts and stuff like that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's a guy at work who wears that stuff unironically. He just loves it. And he just shows up and I'm like, "Yup, sponsored by Gamer Subs, dude."
Yeah. All right. Chinoda's probably got to go.
Yeah.
We've held them back long enough. Have a good night, Chinoda.
Thank you. I'm gonna go to drunk PowerPoint night with my friends, so wish me luck.
Drunk PowerPoint night. You watch an anime?
No. So the whole thing is you get drunk, then you present a PowerPoint on like whatever subject you choose, and everyone just roasts you on the thing on how well you do or not.
Yes, I too love liver
Sure.
damage.
Well, I mean, I I think that doing this would really help your interpersonal and public speaking skills. So
Yes.
I am an advocate for doing things like this.
Okay.
Yeah, it turns out I actually have a life and do stuff. All right.
It's shocking.
Bye,
I know,
Chinoda.
Bye,
right?
Chinoda. Yes, Classy Ulysses is absolutely right. Anime is a
Anime
mistake.
is a mistake.
Not even was a mistake, is a mistake.
It is currently a mistake. Yes.
Do a Napoleon PowerPoint. I want to see that movie too.
I don't really care to see that movie.
Is it because of
I think
Joaquin
it's
Phoenix?
interesting that he got like exiled and onto an island, and then he somehow escapes. And they're like, "Yo, what the fuck? We exiled you, Napoleon." He's like, "Hey, you cannot keep me back." And then he gets exiled there again, and then he's like, "Oh, Don, you France." And then he comes and he escapes again, and I'm like, "What? This man is unstoppable. He's a menace."
He's like a living embodiment of how many times we got to teach you this lesson, old man.
Dude, Napoleon was literally a menace.
I think it's funny that one of his descendants is still alive today. I think it's Napoleon Bonaparte the Fourth.
Oh wow, they're just naming their kids Napoleon, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So something else I wanted to bring up with you, John, because you like you like talking about trends and algorithms and such.
Yes.
Twitch has a really weird trend recently that's cropped up. I would say in the last few weeks.
Oh
So
yeah,
you know
what's
how
the new what's the meta game now?
the new the new meta game is women on Twitch just completely streaming shirtless, like not even
What?
a
That's
bra.
allowed? That's
Oh no.
allowed?
So they cut it off like right before the cleavage like starts to show. But you can definitely tell they're completely shirtless.
I don't see. So wasn't Twitch allowed people to do body painting? Like
Yeah, and they do the hot
full
tub
nudity
streams like with
body.
the bikinis.
Yeah, so I'm like Twitch at this point is just it listen. We all know that Twitch only cares about their top 1% earners who just
Yes.
so happen to be Amaranth, right?
That's literally their top 1%. It's just that one person.
Quite literally. So Twitch wants to pretend like they're not a porn streaming website, but it's like you're just a safe for work version of cam girling at this point.
See, here's the thing. I feel like Twitch could make a shit ton of money if they split their website into two different websites. One that's catered more to 18 plus kind of stuff, and one that's more family friendly. Both owned by the same company, both run on the same servers. It's just one is 18 plus and one is not.
I think that Twitch it merged with Justin TV, I believe, right? In the origins.
That was what it was originally called, was Justin TV.
Was it?
Yeah, and it
I used
became
to stream
Twitch.
on that. I used to stream on Justin TV when I used back in middle school, high school. But I just feel like Twitch itself doesn't really know what it wants to do other than want to make money.
Yeah, it wants to make money, and it's like it at this point it's so nebulous about how it enforces its own rules. It's like if you're going to have people that are just flouting the rules anyway, give them a space where they can just do whatever they want within reason, of course, and give the other people that want to be more family friendly a space to do that. Like you
Well,
can
it's
do
just
it with
like
the servers you have.
so when I was watching a bunch recently I've been watching a bunch of Turkey Tom videos
Oh boy.
about just like a bunch of stuff. Twitch has just become a porn site at this point. I mean, yeah,
Pretty much.
it's the safer work version of porn at this point with the hot tub streams and like the body painting streams. But
This new shirtless meta.
the Twitch only cares about making money, and unfortunately, the women who do risque things like that, like I remember Alinity was super popular, and then she like abused her cat on stream, and then people are like, "Oh, Alinity, don't do that." Amaranth is still mega popular. Don't know why. Well, I know why. I don't care for it, but I know
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, I know why too.
But they're a lot nicer to the top 1% earners, especially the
Yeah.
women, because they know that they're the ones who make the money, because that's all they care about.
Because
So
I'm gonna point out something that is gonna be it's gonna be a difficult pill to swallow, but it's true. A majority of people that consume content online are men and young men. And what do young men like? Boobs. I'm just it's not what I want it to be, but that's just how it is.
is that what you want it to be?
I mean, don't get me wrong, I like boobs too. But it's just a fact that a majority of people who consume like streaming content online just are men. Are men between the ages of like 15 to 25.
Yeah, no, this harkens back to my point earlier. Coomers run the world. It's all being fueled by Coomers, man.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
What about Kick? I don't even know about Kick. Like Kick is the platform where once Twitch bans you, you go to.
I know
That's all
a
I
lot
know
of
about
people's
Kick.
biggest issue I think with Kick is that its rules are a lot more loose than Twitch or YouTube for that matter. But also it's propped up by gambling money, which I think for whatever reason people have a hate boner for. Which I'm like, if you're gonna
Which
hate
is
it for
weird
something,
because
that's weird
again,
to hate it
so
for.
when I was bringing up Turkey Tom, so I was watching a bunch of Turkey Tom videos where he talks about like ex streamers and stuff like that, like people who turned on these internet personalities or whatever.
Mhm.
And one of them was like Trainwrecks TV, I believe was the Twitch streamer where
Man,
he
that's
got
a name I haven't heard in a long
I
time.
listen, I live under a rock because apparently there's a bunch of famous people that I just don't know. They have like millions and millions of fans, and I'm like, I don't know who this person is.
I
Like
didn't
Trainwreck
know
TV, I
who
have never heard of this man before in
I,
my life.
before he got arrested, I didn't know who Andrew Tate was.
That's surprising. He was like everywhere on social media because
I
like
know.
algorithm just kept pumping him out like these alpha sigma male shit, and I'm just like, I don't care
Maybe
about
it's
this.
because I don't spend time in those realms.
Yeah, but yeah, so Trainwrecks TV, like he was a streamer that was super popular, and he was doing gambling,
Mhm.
which is what got him in trouble, and he got banned off of Twitch for gambling because they decided no more gambling streams, and I'm just like, it
Except
used
for
to be the
poker. You can
meta.
still play poker
Well, kind
because
of.
I guess they determined that poker is a game of actual skill, not just chance. And it's true. There is a
That
skill
depends
set
on your state, bro.
that
Some
that, that
states consider all gambling to be games of chance, and some of them are say there are certain games of skill.
I
I
think that poker is a game of both chance and skill, but I think it's primarily skill because you got to know what your hand is and you got to know what you have.
listen. They have a computer that does all the math for them when they play blackjack and poker. At
Yeah.
the casino does, by the way. That's how they know. They have hidden cameras, and they'll know your fucking hand and stuff like that. They have hidden cameras to tell them their probability of winning the next hand or not, so they can literally force you to lose. And they can just do like a force shuffle or something if they want, or or they'll change out the deck to something favorable to them. But anyway, gambling is a scam. Do not gamble, kids. Or rather, I should say, gamble responsibly. What I mean by that is like if you want to go and spend $200, spend it however the hell you want. If you want to go lose it in 20 minutes at a casino, go right ahead. Just understand that that money you're going in with is not money you're coming out with.
And it's also, I think, important to point out a lot of these people on Twitch that are, well, just streamers in general, are gambling addicts.
Well, yeah, they have so much money. Like Mr. Beast
X
is a gambling addict.
XQC is a gambling addict.
Yeah.
um, I think probably one of the big streamers that isn't is Charlie, just because he doesn't gamble. Really? I mean, he does gamble, but like not often.
I would argue that Charlie does gamble with his money, just in different ways.
Yeah, you're okay. Yeah, yeah,
He
you're right.
invests in things that he thinks is fun.
Yeah,
So
and
the way
sometimes they
that
do
he
turn a big
spends his
profit.
well, like when he was doing the card openings for like the Pokemon cards and stuff like that, he's like, that's gambling, essentially. Like
It
it's a
is.
gacha, it's gambling.
Yeah. But he doesn't
But
do like
he invests
gambling
in his own
streams.
no, no, no. but he does gamble. Like he'll go and play poker and stuff like that. But he likes to spend his money in investing and stuff. Like right now, they have like the Moist Esports.
Hmm. Which turned out to be a really good gamble. It's got him pretty good dividends, it looks like.
No, he's losing money on it. It's not
Really?
profitable. Yes.
Oh, I thought
He's
it was
very
that.
open about it.
Based on
He's
how
like,
much he talks about it, I just assumed it was profitable.
no, he's like, no, he's hemorrhaging money, and he's like, but that's not the point. I'm doing this because I like it. I'm like, yeah.
Hey, and he's got the money to do that. I mean, I wouldn't say he's got quite fuck you money, but he's got the money to try stuff out.
Listen, let me tell you something. If FaZe Holdings, right? If
Mhm.
FaZe Clan, the fourth biggest esports team, like company in the world, is failing, what makes you
True.
think anyone else
A
could be
smaller
winning?
team, yeah.
Yeah. Like FaZe is still everywhere and they're still pretty famous, but they were hemorrhaging money. Like they opened up and they went public and they were like $20 a stock or something. And
Yeah.
what are they at now? They were like last time I checked, they were like down to $1. They're
A
gonna
penny
be
stock. It's gonna be a penny
yeah.
stock before
Yeah, they got
long.
kicked off of the market because they were a penny stock now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it's at now, but I remember FaZe basically going down the toilet.
And that's crazy considering how big like gaming is that game like professional gaming teams like that are hemorrhaging money.
Well, so the reason why professional gaming teams hemorrhage money is because a lot of their money is predicated on sponsorships.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, a lot of gamers are not very professional people because they're fucking gamers. They live in
They're
their
also not
basement.
great business people half the time.
No, they spend 16 hours a day playing video games. They're not the brightest and smartest. They do something good. And they use typical gamer language. So they're not very good at marketing or anything like that. They're not very marketable.
Do you think it's kind of similar to how like indie VTubers have a more difficult time? Not just because you got the big VTuber like agencies that you're competing with, but you're just if you do something that's super unprofessional as an indie VTuber, number one, you don't have a corporation to come bail you out. And number two, people are more likely to like pile on you because you're independent.
Yeah, I mean, the internet giveth and the internet taketh away, right?
Yeah.
Uh, as someone like who doesn't care about the internet, this is why I don't, like I don't use Twitter, but I understand that Twitter is a very useful tool to grow your social media presence, right?
Hmm.
Like there's a lot of people who have rose to fame through Twitter, through Instagram, through social media platforms,
Hmm.
and they become like a pseudo celebrity in their own right. But that's the game you gotta play. Like, you put yourself out there and you hope that the world doesn't, like, look behind the mask and just try to dump on you for whatever reason. And it's like indie VTubing is difficult because of that. Without a big platform that, because like, Hololive itself is an automatic, like it's not an automatic, like, path to success, I would say. But Hololive is a known group, and it's just like a managing network. It's like, hey, we have these people under our umbrella. You can collab with each other and help
Yeah.
each other like get bigger, and that's really what it is. Like it's metagaming in YouTube is like that too. Collaborations are the best way to grow your sub count on YouTube, but the
Yeah.
problem is like the
Collabs,
disparity
shout
between,
outs, and sponsorships. Three biggest ways to grow on YouTube.
well, with YouTube specifically, collaborations is like the only, because their algorithm itself is not conducive to promoting smaller channels. If you
I would
want to
argue
grow,
also that's even doubly so on Twitch because there isn't really a recommendation feature on Twitch.
yeah, like they don't care about, so the algorithm just works of engagement, right?
Mhm.
Who has the most likes, who's watching the most long videos, who gets the most
Who's got the
comments.
most watch time?
Yeah. So that's all that the algorithm cares about. And the only way to do that is to honestly, unless you become a viral meme yourself, you got to collaborate with someone who's bigger than you or
That was
at the
like
same size as you or make something funny.
I was like, what's his name? The emotional damage guy. I can't remember his name.
Stephen He.
Yeah, Stephen He. Like, I mean, he was kind of known before that whole thing, but that emotional damage, that's what really made him pop off.
Yeah. And like, I mean, he was famous beforehand, like prior to that, but he definitely exponentially grew after that.
And
Yes.
it's funny hearing him talk about it now because he thought that was the joke that was never going to land in the video, even though he put it in.
Yeah. It's because of how he delivers it.
Emotional damage.
Yeah. Like I remember Twitch is a weird sphere to be in because it doesn't have a promotion algorithm. It's just like, hey, whoever's the top performer in this it ranks it by whoever's at top. Let's
Yeah.
say you like,
Whoever is the
you know
top
what?
performer in this
I
category.
want to go watch Twitch. I want to go watch people play Alan Wake 2. It's gonna list the top performers of Alan Wake 2 streams. I would never ever discover anyone lower than like freaking 1,000 watchers, concurrent watchers, because
Yeah.
you would have to scroll too far. Because that's one thing that, like, all right. So
Here we
in
go.
video game design,
Here we go.
you don't want to make things hard for the player to do. Okay. In any type of design, right? If you want someone to pay you money, if you want them to buy your shit, you make it easy to buy that shit. The minute that anyone has to do anything more than one button click or move, like going to a secondary menu, they will hate it.
Yeah. Or
Everyone's
see an
lazy. Yeah. And this brings me to my next point. I fucking hate Discord's new mobile app.
ad. Oh, here we go. Listen, I have to use the bathroom really quick. Go rant about this. I can still hear you. I will be right back.
Okay. So recently, Discord's mobile app updated, and I finally got the update. And I remember my friend, he was like, man, the new Discord app is ass. And I'm like, what new Discord app? I don't know what you're talking about. He's on Android and I'm on iPhone. So I didn't get the update until like 4 or 6 hours later. And I was like, how bad could it possibly be? Because whenever someone's like, oh man, this is bad, my first thought in my head is, how bad could it possibly be? Right? Like sometimes people will take a swig of something and be like, oh, this is fucking awful. And then I'll be like, how bad could it be? So I'll take a swig of it. They'll be like, you know what? That was really fucking bad. So I take things with a grain of salt. I have to personally try things out myself. Most of the time. Some other times people will be like, oh, this is a terrible idea. And I'll be like, all right, it sounds like a terrible idea. And I'm not going to do it. But other times I won't. Same, John, same. Discord app. Yeah, see, I did it because I had to see how bad it was. Right.
So let me tell you why you're wrong.
No, you shut up. You sit the fuck down. Listen, I spent 10 minutes looking for the stupid notification on my phone from Discord. It's like, you have a message, right? It's like, you have a notification, right? On my phone. I hate seeing notifications on my phone. I've read
Oh, me
every
too.
single
I gotta
email.
clear them instantly when I see them.
They have to be cleared. But unlike you, Alex, I keep them archived. I don't fucking delete them instantly. That's weird.
No. I usually just go in and see what the notification is, read it, watch it, whatever, and then go on. Like, I actually respond to the notifications.
But I hate seeing notifications. I spent 10 minutes looking for the stupid notification. I was like, where is, I don't see any +1s on my Discord like channels. Who's like, why is there a +1?
It was me. I sent you a hidden message.
So Discord used to, the app used to be buggy for me, and it'd show me like a +1 notification if I had bad connection. It just wouldn't clear. So I thought it was that. I waited like an hour. I came back to it, looked, and I'm like, oh, it's still there. And I'm like, what the fuck? So then I look at it and I see a small little red dot on the very bottom. I'm like, what is that? And I click on it. I've got this is the DMs tab now. And I'm like, what the fuck? DMs used to be just like on the desktop app where it'd be like a notification on the top left. Now it's in this little tiny little button on the bottom, and it's a little red dot. I'm just like, I don't care about that. I never saw that. Even I bought premium 1 week before it update. And Mark said, it's funny you mentioned that. Dexerto just did an article where a bunch of people are refunding their Nitro because of this, because of the changes.
Yeah. So I want to point out, I've had this update for almost a month and a half, 2 months now, because I actually signed up for the beta versions on my phone. I've gotten used to it. I actually think there are elements of it I like. I don't really think one of the things people are upset about is that you can't swipe left anymore to see all the people in your server, which I would argue, why do you need to see that? The average, I mean, I guess you could say as a server owner, maybe you might need to see that, but the average user to a server, probably not. You don't need to know who's online every second of the day.
I do that if I need to DM someone.
So you actually go find them in like the server list, like do the long press on them and then send DM?
Yes.
Okay.
That's how I find you half the time.
Is it because I get buried?
It's because, well, for one thing, I don't add a lot of people on Discord like as a personal friend.
Mm,
And getting again, it's so troublesome to get to the friends list to look at who's online
mm.
that I don't bother to add people on Discord. So how do I find my friends on Discord? I go to the server that I'm in there with them. Then I go to the right and I find to see if they're online or not. Then I click on them and I message
Okay.
them. I legitimately do that.
Okay. I mean, I could
So
see how that would be a little distressing for you now that you can't get to that.
yeah, because it takes an extra click. Like just the fact that it takes one extra click to do what I need to do just ruins it.
Hmm.
Like it's a terrible balance.
I don't know. I've just gotten so used to it that it doesn't bother me anymore. I will say the beta version of this update looked a lot worse.
Listen, I understand that people hate change. And that's why I was critical of it too. I was like, you know what? I know that people hate change. So how bad could this update be? Then I experienced it. And I'm like, holy shit, it's pretty bad. They not only because like for one thing, it doesn't mirror the desktop app. I hate that. Like I like having continuity between my apps.
Yeah,
My desktop app and my mobile app should be nearly identical in form
to
and
the best
function
they can be.
to the best that it can be.
I agree
And
with that. Yeah. I don't know.
I I have no doubt that in time I'll get used to it,
Yeah.
right? Because humans are very adaptable. It's one thing that helped us survive for so long, our ability to adapt. But I don't know why they would push this update out like this because I don't see any of the what Discord was like saying, "Oh, this is what it helps with." Like I don't see the functionality of it being better. I don't know how it was improved by using
I
this
do
design.
hope. I do hope because Discord has not been handling the criticism of this update very well. I like how a lot of people are like throwing legitimate criticism that like you just did for the finding people in the margin like you can on the desktop app. And their response is something similar to, we understand change is difficult, but just give it time. You'll get used to it. It's like, okay, granted, that's not a bad thing to say, but it's not what you should be saying right now.
Yeah,
You should say something like, "Well, we'll take your feedback into consideration, and in the next update, we'll try and fix some of the issues people are having with it."
and I think the most shocking thing for a lot of Discord fans, Discord users, is that Discord has always been receptive to people's criticisms and loved adding people's changes. Like
Mhm.
adding the integrated GIFs, right? That's a great idea. The
A-
stickers, the animated stickers, and stuff
Adding
like
the
that.
events tab.
Yeah, there's so many updates that there are so many quality of life changes that they've made to Discord's app, and they've been very receptive to their fans, users. And at this point in time, they're like, well, we don't like these changes for legitimate reasons. And they're like, well, how about you kick rocks? It's
Yeah,
like, that seems a little bit excessive, don't you think, Discord? Like, what the
just a
hell?
bit, just a bit.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll get used to it, but I don't like it. I don't understand why they went for this design. I There was nothing wrong with the design before. Like, because I'm trying to imagine why they would do an update for this, right? Um,
Discord had
like,
one job and they failed. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, well, because I try to look at it from a developer's standpoint, right? There's sometimes you develop things and you do new designs and stuff because the old layout was kind of ass.
Hmm.
If there was problems with it, if there's like especially for disability reasons, especially for that.
Yeah, for any kind of accessibility stuff, I'm all for.
Yeah, so I can understand updates to help for that, but this is like it's detracting from that. When the swipe functions were so much smoother and easier to use
Hmm.
for anyone. Like I understand like, well, yeah, you can just tap instead and just like instead of swiping you just tap. If you can swipe, you can tap. I get that. So I tried looking at it from that point of view, but I'm like it still doesn't make sense though because it didn't improve it. It didn't do anything. It just in fact, I think it made it worse, but if anything, it didn't do anything at all, which is still just as bad in my opinion. Then why
Yeah,
change it?
yeah.
Um, I'm thinking that it has something to do with the back end, with like when you don't see when because you can't swipe right. I think that the fact that you can't see the servers unless you actually Yeah, you can't swipe right to see the server anymore. I think it's a function for responding to messages because I believe when you swipe right, you can reply automatically now.
Yeah, swiping right now replies to whatever message you're swiping over.
Yeah, so I understand that like that swipe function is good. That is a lot easier and better than the old function of press and hold and you have to tap, right? You
Yeah.
do one action instead of two. But it's like that doesn't mean why did you have to get rid of going over to the server tab? I
Yeah,
don't
right.
get that. Like
I mean, maybe you could add
I
a
have to
button at
actually
the
go
top.
I have to go scroll like if I'm scrolling, right? I have to scroll all the way up and I have to hit the actual general tab to
Yeah.
actually go see the server,
Yeah.
right? And then I have to, if I want to exit that instead of being able to like you got to freaking click. It's just annoying. It's an extra step.
Yeah. Can I also say, speaking of updates, there was a massive UI update recently pushed out for Android devices.
Mhm.
Um, this font that they changed the clock to is fucking ass. I don't know if you can see. Look at this ass. Look at this ass font that they changed it to. Oh, hold on.
I don't think it's that bad.
Also, yes, I have Holo on my phone.
Dude, spoilers.
Yeah,
You got
right.
spoilers on your phone. Get out of here. I can't believe you'd spoil this 15-year-old anime.
Okay,
Actually,
Natai, calm down.
as an anime only, I actually don't know who that is in the back. Who is
Yeah,
that other silver fox?
you'll
Who
have
is
to
that, huh?
find out.
For the new season coming out, right?
Well, it's a reboot.
But they're doing a full adaptation, is what they said.
Allegedly, it's going to be a full adaptation. Yeah, which I'm super excited for.
It's pretty good.
But also,
Alex is showing waifus again.
yes, I will always show waifu. Look here. Look here. Will always show off my waifu.
Smug fox.
Smug.
Even though she's a wolf.
Yeah, she is. But on the flip side of corporations making stupid decisions, I want to talk about a corporation making a very funny decision.
Okay.
Liquid Death is a drink you can buy in stores. And despite it looking like it's got alcohol in it, it does not. Um, it's really good. If you ever get a chance to try it, I like it. But one thing they've started doing somewhat recently, I think over the last year and a half or so, is they started doing like iced tea drinks as well.
Yep.
And so they have their version of an Arnold Palmer, which is lemonade and sweet tea mixed together, right? And that's what everyone just calls that an Arnold Palmer because the golfer Arnold Palmer came up with this idea and it kind of just stuck.
Half lemonade, half iced tea.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so they decided to call their version of an Arnold Palmer the Armless Palmer, which is a great name. All their drinks have fantastic names, by the way. And the estate of Arnold Palmer got in touch with them and said, "Do you mind not doing that, or we will take a lot of your money?" And so in response, they're like, "Okay, we'll change it." And then they came out with this press release, which is the most passive aggressive press release thing I've ever seen in my life. And they decided to rename their Arnold Palmer or Armless Palmer to Dead Billionaire, which is great. I love it. I hope one day I can attain that level of pettiness.
Well, trust me, you're almost there.
Okay. I'm glad. I'm glad I'm making progress.
No, so when I first saw Liquid Death, my coworker was drinking it, and when I saw it, I was like, "Are you drinking a beer?" And she's like, "What? No, it's just Liquid Death." I'm like, "Are you sure that's not an IPA?" Because where I live, there are like a billion microbreweries.
Mhm.
Okay. So with an edgy name like Liquid Death and with their logo of like that screaming skull with like the water effects,
Yeah.
it looks like a fucking IPA. Okay.
If you didn't know better, you would think there's beer or some form of alcohol in that can.
Yeah, like looking at the design and like the name, like look at that. Look at Voodoo Ranger, right?
Oh,
Like
it's
that
not
design with
focusing. It's not there it go. There it
oh,
goes.
oh, oh. Okay, you can barely see it, but look at the design, right? Of the Voodoo Ranger stuff. This is an IPA, right?
Yeah.
So Liquid Death has like a very similar like
Hashtag not
naming.
sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored. I love Voodoo Ranger. Please sponsor me. But it looks like a beer or an IPA
Mhm.
because there's dude, there's like a billion fucking duck fart IPA. That I'm pretty sure that's an IPA somewhere here.
Duck Fart
I
3000. Let's go.
I swear, like Duck Fart Tronics 5000 or something is probably an IPA. All right. Because IPAs are weird. They gotta have edgy, freaking stupid names, and I don't know. But
I'm waiting for the Fupa Lover IPA.
this probably is one. But seeing Liquid Death, I had to try it because when I see weird things like weird chips or weird drinks, I have to try it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I saw Liquid Death and I was like, all right, I got to try it. So I bought them. I had a white one, a black one, and a green one. I think the green one is like the lime one. I think the white one's like the normal one. And then like the black one is the carbonated one, I believe.
Yes, I think that's how that works. Yeah,
Or something. I don't remember. But
I've only ever had the white one.
I've had 3 of them so far. I like them. I like that they're just water.
Water.
Sparkling water. It's just water in a can. Tastes better than Dasani, bro.
I mean, that's a low bar, man.
Which is a shame because Coca-Cola makes Dasani and Coca-Cola products are amazing. Again, hashtag not sponsored. Coca-Cola, please sponsor me.
But yeah, I wanted to bring that up just because I felt like it's the most petty thing ever, but I love it.
I mean, it makes sense though. Like, again,
So it's funny. It's
devil's
funny
advocate
because
here. If someone was using the likeness of someone from your estate, right? It's famous
Yeah.
to profit off of. It's like, all right, well, if you're gonna profit off of us using our likeness or someone from my family or my estate's likeness, you better pay a licensing fee.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you can fuck right off.
Also, Classy Ulysses can fuck right off saying Aquafina is great.
Sir, we are a Coca-Cola family. We are Pepsi can fuck right off.
I will
Unless
say
you want to sponsor me, Pepsi, Frito-Lay Pepsi, then we can talk.
Show
But
me
until
the
then,
so this is not the first time that the estate of Arnold Palmer has done something like this. So I think currently the only drink company out there that actually has the license to like put Arnold Palmer's name and face and stuff on their
Arizona.
drinks is Arizona.
Yeah.
Because they kind of pay the estate a licensing fee to do that. The estate, as I have learned recently, has a history of being very litigious when it comes to restaurants and bars serving Arnold Palmer's. There was a time not too long ago, I want to say it was like maybe about 10 years ago, where they actually tried to sue a bar that was making an Arnold Palmer and selling it
And calling it an Arnold Palmer.
and calling it an Arnold Palmer, which is
Right.
what everyone calls that drink.
Yeah.
I think that actually ended up going to court, and the court said that you can't. They did side with the family of Arnold Palmer, but they said that you can't own a copyright to a mixed drink unless there's a specific formula behind it. So basically what they're saying is for like
Yeah.
mixed alcoholic drinks, even if it's named after someone, you may be able to copyright the name, but you can't copyright the actual drink.
Right. That makes sense because it's like, well, like if you want to make a Shirley Temple, like sure,
Yeah.
we know it's a Shirley Temple, but the estate of Shirley Temple would not be able to be like, oh well, any alcoholic drink made like a Shirley, or actually Shirley Temple is a non-alcoholic drink.
The
But
dirty Shirley is the vodka one.
yeah. But basically anyone who wants was it Sprite and grenadine or whatever the hell it is, or cherries? I don't remember what it is.
Yeah.
What is a Shirley Temple?
A Shirley Temple is either Sprite or something, a lemon lime soda plus grenadine and cherries.
Yeah, that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense because you can make that like it's not a specific formula. Like there's no IP rights to this.
Yeah.
That's
The
like
same
saying,
thing with like a drink like the Tom Collins.
I don't know what that is.
It's a gin drink.
No, but yeah, like that's like licensing a Jack and a Coke, right?
Yeah, Jack
and a Coke
yeah.
is just whiskey and Coke. Like, you
Yeah.
can't license that. That's
Like,
just whiskey
everyone
and Coke.
calls it a Jack and Coke no matter what whiskey you put in it. It's
Yeah.
whiskey and Coke. Everyone just says Jack and Coke.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
And Jack Daniels is a drink that's named after an actual person.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there was an actual Jack Daniels.
I just know that Jack Daniels is what I drank when I couldn't afford Hennessy. Now I'm on that XOVSOP, son.
Or Bacardi. That's named after the family that originally created the distillery.
Oh. But yeah, it doesn't make sense that again, yes, you can license the name Arnold Palmer, but you can't fucking license the drink.
Yeah.
We'll just call it a half and half. Wait, that's a license name
Well,
too. We
yeah,
can't call it
a
a half
lot of
and half.
places, if you see this drink on a menu somewhere, most places won't call it an Arnold Palmer. They'll call it like a iced tea and lemonade or a
Yeah,
lemon tea or something like that.
it makes sense.
Anyway, it's not the first time the state of Arnold Palmer has been very litigious.
Yeah, that's again, I get it, but that's so shitty.
I wonder if
It's
they
a
like the
shitty.
new name.
It would be one thing to send a cease and desist. It's another to just be like, oh, we're going to take you to court. Because
Yeah.
taking someone to court is a long and expensive process. It's really a giant fuck you to people who don't have money.
Yeah. And that's exactly what the people who make Liquid Death said in their press release. They're like, we could fight this, but we don't want to fight a meaningless battle against a corporate entity that has way more money than we do.
Yeah. Like Liquid Death's entire thing is like, hey, we're putting water in cans because that's better than putting them in plastic
Plastic.
bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like their entire shtick. I'm like, I can get behind that. I understand that. Aluminum is like 100% recyclable. Plastic isn't.
Anyway, that's what I wanted to bring up. Let's talk about noodles.
All right. We need to talk about noodles, specifically Japanese noodles, and my tier list.
Oh, here we go. Get ready to hate John.
Everyone's gonna hate me for this. They're like, oh, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and I don't care. I have a tier list for Japanese noodles, and it goes
Can I just say
udon.
before you give this list in its entirety, you have instant ramen on here. When you say instant ramen, does that include like cup ramen?
Yes, that means
Okay.
all right. I have a hot take of all hot takes to give.
Okay.
My tier list of Japanese noodles is udon noodles because I love udon. That shit's good on any type of day, like a cold
Mhm.
day, a hot day, don't matter. I love udon. Like, give me fucking oh my god, what the fuck is it called? It's gonna call it a katsudon. No, uh, oh my god, shrimp tempura. There we go. Jeez,
Yeah, there you go.
give me a shrimp tempura udon any time of the day. However,
Okay.
give me the outside of the udon, you bastards. Like, I don't like restaurants that serve the shrimp inside of the udon because it's like, no, I want the crunchiness. I want to be like slurp noodle, eat crunch. Like that's the texture. But anyway, whatever.
Drink broth.
Yeah, there's a certain method to how I want to eat my shrimp tempura udon. But I think udon is the best noodle. Right? It's soft, it's flavorful, and it's simple. Right?
Yes.
My second favorite style of noodle is sukemen, which is just like a very condensed ramen broth, and the noodles are the same, but it's like a very thick sauce, and you dip it. I like to take it and I just like to put it inside of my sukemen instead of dipping to make it just like a super thick, viscous sauce. It's really good. It's like my mouth's watering. I want some sukemen right now. I'm hungry, bro. I woke up and I haven't eaten yet. I've been trying to eat chips, but after sukemen, I like instant noodles. At the very bottom of my list is actual ramen. I
Here
don't know
comes the
why.
part that's the part everyone hates.
Please pitchforks down. Right, allow me to explain. I don't like actual ramen. Like I have had legitimate ramen, not in Japan yet. So maybe I'll change my mind if I have legitimate ramen. But in my state where I live, I have had every single ramen that is considered the best, and all of them pale in comparison to sukemen or udon.
Can I just say, udon's probably my favorite Japanese noodle too. I love udon,
See,
but I like the broad, flat noodles. Like even when
I
it comes to like Italian pasta, I love fettuccine.
I understand that. Is fettuccine the yeah, fettuccine is the wide noodles. Yeah, you're
That's
right.
oh, whoa, that's the wide noodle. I
Whoa.
almost broke my mic.
You better calm down there.
Got too excited about noodles, man.
So I understand that everyone who's like, "Oh, you only like udon because you haven't had really good ramen." I'm like, okay, bro. I'm gonna go to Japan. I'm gonna go to the best goddamn ramen restaurant there, and then I'm gonna tell you the exact same thing I just said. That instant ramen still tastes better than actual ramen.
Is it weird that if I ever get a chance to actually go to Japan, because I know these things exist, I want to try these restaurants that that are in Japan where they do their own take on American food?
I mean, I kind of want to try it too because I'm like, Japanese food is it follows a pattern of flavors.
Yeah.
Uh, having such a diverse palate as myself, like I eat a bunch of different types of food.
Okay, Gordon Ramsay. Okay, settle down.
No, I just like trying different foods from different cultures because
Yeah.
I think there's plenty of good food out there. It's one of the great things of life is to be able to taste food
He's
from
not
different cultures
wrong.
and stuff.
He's not wrong, everyone.
Again, you don't get this big without liking to eat, right?
Isn't
So
that a line? That's a line from Panette or Gillette. What the fuck was that? The fat comedian's name? I
ramen
can't
is good,
remember.
but I eat it once a month. I don't eat ramen very often because, like I said, I'd rather get sukemen or udon. And sukemen is not ramen. Like it's the same noodles, but the broth is completely different. What I don't like is the ramen broth. Every broth I've tried is just kind of like mediocre in my opinion, like a tonkatsu broth or a shoyu broth. It doesn't matter, right? Like I would say there are some tantan men I've had that's probably slightly better than instant noodles. Some instant noodles, but like I'd say 8 out of 10 times, 4 out of 5, I'd prefer an instant noodle ramen over like an actual ramen bowl. That's just how I feel.
John Panette is the name of the comedian I was trying to think of. He had a line where he said, "You don't get as big as me by trying to eat healthy. You get you get as big as me by trying to eat good."
But
Um,
yeah, I'm sure because
do you know
I
what
said this exact same thing to
Kura has udon that's really good. That kitsune udon, I love it. Oh,
bro. Kura udon is like mid.
it's so
I was just
I
at
like it a
Kura
lot.
yesterday,
I like it a lot.
but I just feel like I have a friend who went to Japan and he said the same thing. He was like, "Bro, you haven't had real ramen until you gone to Japan and had actual ramen. Like you'll change your mind. All the places here, they suck." And I'm like, okay, I believe that. I believe that I would not get an authentic Japanese ramen in the United States of America. Like
Shocking.
it's just shocking that a lot of Japanese people don't come here to open up ramen shops. So yeah, sure. So I would love to go to Japan and try some actual ramen, but I feel like I'm gonna have the exact same opinion, so I don't really care. But that is my hot take of the day.
I will say, in terms of the cup ramen, I like it because it's so convenient.
I think that cup ramen, like first and foremost, there's like a billion fucking flavors of cup ramen, like instant
Yes.
ramen, right? Like
They even have sweet ramen, which is crazy.
yeah, like Hokkaido cream milk. Because I go to a Japanese grocery store, Uwajimaya, a lot, so I
Mhm,
get to see like, oh, here are all the things that Japan sells in their grocery store, so I get to try them.
mhm.
And they have a bunch of different flavors of ramen. Like there's so many there. Or you could
Yeah.
also go to like Yamibuy. Again, not sponsored, but Yamibuy is a website I used to use to buy a bunch of snacks from Asia. Like if you wanted instant bibimbap, bibimbap in a bag, costs like $7, but it's cool.
Man, just making me think of I want fucking noodles now.
I know. Oh man, I'm about to order some sukemen. Yeah, I have
Uh,
curry. I have Japanese curry to eat.
all right.
But did you have more to add about my ramen?
No, if you have something, I was gonna move on to something else.
We can move on.
Okay. The last thing I wanted to talk about, because it is December, and I wanted to ask you, what is the best Christmas movie, John? And why is it Die Hard?
It's not Die Hard,
Die
which
Hard,
is a Christmas
but Die
movie.
Hard is a Christmas movie. We here at Anime Club After Dark support Die Hard being a Christmas movie.
I'm trying to Jingle All the Way with Arnold
I
Schwarzenegger.
love, oh my God, I love that movie so much.
I fucking love Jingle All the Way.
And it was made at the perfect time too. It was when Arnold was like at his peak popularity in like was it mid to late 90s? Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
But I'm also a really giant fan of Nightmare Before Christmas. I think Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas movie. Anyone who thinks otherwise can fuck right off.
I think it's both a Christmas and a Halloween movie.
It's both. A Christmas Story is your favorite? Okay.
Okay, that's a classic. I mean, I like Christmas Story. Um Oh, another one I really like is It's a Wonderful Life. That's a great Christmas movie too.
That's the one where the guy wishes he wasn't alive, so he gets to see what his life was like without him, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He gets to see what the world would be like without him in it, and then he realizes, wow, I actually have a lot more love in my life than I thought I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think
Batman
there's much argument.
Returns. Come on, man.
Is that a Christmas movie? Does it take place during Christmas? I don't know.
I don't know. I know that the wild thing that I heard recently, because around this time every year, everyone's got their polls up and everything for what's the best Christmas movie of all time. And I was surprised, shocked, in fact, to find that there was a poll out there that listed Star Trek Generations as a Christmas movie. Okay, listen here. Just because it has one scene that takes place at Christmas, and it's a fucking flashback.
I don't know. I I don't know where you're seeing these polls. I'm not on the internet long enough to understand that. I
I
get
mean,
on the
maybe it could have
internet
been a shit
to
post. I don't know.
listen. I watch YouTube videos and then I play video games. Then I code games. That's all I do now. That's my life.
It takes place during the days leading up to Christmas. Okay. Okay. I mean,
But
I guess.
I'm trying to think of other Christmas movies. Gremlins is a good Christmas movie.
Hmm.
Well, it's not a good Christmas movie. It's a good movie, but it happens that it's a Christmas movie. um, I think it's yeah. I just think of classical Christmas movies like Elf.
Mm.
I personally don't think Elf is that great of a movie. Like it's funny, like haha, Will Ferrell, right?
Yeah.
But I think that people like Elf way more than they should.
Mm.
All the Harry Potter movies is a Christmas movie. Was that
Didn't they
you that
all
said
come
that in the
out?
fucking server classy? I
Hold
remember
on.
someone said that, and I was like, "Are they?" I'm like, it does have Christmas scenes in every single movie, so I mean,
Did,
yes,
does, didn't
Christmas
they
does
all?
take place in the movie, but isn't every year at Harry Potter or in the Harry Potter books, isn't every book slash every movie a year in the life of Harry Potter? So wouldn't Christmas always happen in each movie? Like that's kind of cheating, right? You can call it a 4th of July movie. You can call it a fucking Queen's birthday movie. It doesn't matter.
Um. Yeah. Didn't all the movies also release like around Thanksgiving slash Christmas time? I think.
I don't know.
I don't know about that. I went on to I typed in best Christmas movie on Google, and of course, one of the very first things it lists is Rotten Tomatoes, counting down the 100 best Christmas movies of all time. The first like 4 on this list I've never even seen.
Oh, we talked about this in the last episode, didn't we? Where we
We
looked it up or something?
we talked about like Christmas horror movies and how there's very very few of them.
Yes, because it's just a weird combo. It doesn't really work very well.
Yeah. The first one on this list I've actually seen is number 5, Miracle on 34th Street, which is a good movie.
I don't know if I've seen. That's the one where he goes to New York, right?
It takes place in New York, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think I've seen it, but I saw the Rick and Morty episode where they make fun of the guy. There's a miracle on. Oh, look at all these streets. It's the first street and second street. Oh my gosh. Oh, we're at 34th Street. Oh, it's a miracle. I'm like, I'm assuming this is a Christmas movie because it's like,
I like how there is an anime movie on this list at number 16, which I didn't even think about, but it is a really great Christmas movie, Tokyo
Yo,
Godfathers.
Godfathers. I knew it. I was like, that takes place during Christmas.
That's actually a really good Christmas movie.
I feel like that's. See, I feel like for it to be a good Christmas movie,
Hmm.
it has to revolve around Christmas as the main subject, like Jingle All the
Mhm.
Way. But it doesn't
Okay,
have to focus on Christmas to be
this
a
though,
focus.
this
Oh
though,
yeah, the one where they have to save Christmas for Wookiee or for Chewbacca's home planet.
yeah,
He has a wife and kids or something.
Life Day.
Life Day, Happy Life Day. Yes, yes.
You hate Tokyo. Your wife needs to be disciplined.
My wife has bad taste, so I didn't marry her for her taste.
Oh, clearly.
It's okay to have wrong opinions.
I'm looking through this list and like the movies. Edward Scissorhands is a Christmas movie.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I've seen clips of it. I don't think I've actually watched Edward Scissorhands though.
Gremlins is on this list.
Yeah, of course, it's a Christmas movie. Literally, it's a
Batman
Christmas movie.
Returns is on this list at number
Oh my
28. Oh my god, we are proven wrong.
Yeah, the Grinch movies are a Christmas movie. But yeah, my point is just because it takes place during Christmas doesn't necessarily make it a Christmas movie
Mhm.
or make it a good Christmas movie, but it is a Christmas movie, right? Like Die
Yeah,
Hard is a
yeah,
Christmas movie because it takes place on Christmas Eve. Does it make it
yeah.
a good Christmas movie? No, because in my opinion, it has to revolve around the actual holiday, Christmas.
It's the best Die Hard movie though.
I mean, I listen, there was a Die Hard 6 or something where he drives a motorcycle into a helicopter and blows it up. And I'm like, what happened here?
It's
What
like when Fast and the Furious became not about racing anymore.
Yeah, they're shooting fucking rockets into space and they're driving cars on rockets and shit. Like what? In space? Like what's happening here?
Um,
I'm so glad that I tend to drop out of things before they get bastardized.
I also would like to point out that a Christmas movie on here that's very highly regarded at number 56, A Charlie Brown Christmas. Um,
Yeah,
it
okay.
says critics consensus. This is a movie that came out in 1965. No consensus yet. Like what?
Do
What?
movie critics even exist?
That's also really good. And all the Peanuts holiday specials are usually really good.
That makes so much sense. Oh my. So I went to Curry yesterday, right?
Hmm.
And they're doing a Curra slash X Peanuts
Yeah.
collab. And I did not understand why. I was like, why the peanuts for Christmas? I don't get it. But it's
Mhm.
because of Charlie Brown. Oh, that makes so much sense.
Do you know something that I'm super bitter about, and I can't remember where it is now, but they used to on TV here in the U.S. all the time. Usually, it was like 2 weeks before Christmas. They would show the Charlie Brown Christmas special, the old one from 1965.
Right.
Um, they use it like without fail, and I don't know who has it now, but it's some streaming service got the rights to it, and they can't show it on TV anymore. And I fucking hate that.
That's garbage. What?
I know. It's stuck behind a paywall, and I think it's one of those smaller streaming services that nobody uses. Actually, I think it may be Apple TV. I think Apple bought the rights to it.
That's
I think.
garbage, bro. Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. It's supposed to be like like a Christmas tradition here in the United States, and they took that away from us.
Yeah, that's like imagine Christmas rolls around and I don't get to watch Rudolph the Claymation.
Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, I just wanted to ask what your favorite Christmas movie was, since it is the time of year for that, and I don't think we've ever really talked about that.
Jingle all the way, dude. It's so funny. I love
It's
watching it.
it's funny because that movie, like, none of those jokes have really aged. Even
No,
though it
it's
takes
just
place
funny
in
to
the nine
watch Arnold act, dude. I don't know. I
Yes,
just love watching Arnold act.
I will say there's one joke that has aged, and it's when he's on the payphone, because no one understands what payphones are anymore.
I don't think it's age. I just think I
Put
like
the cookie
watching
down!
Yeah, I just like watching Arnold Schwarzenegger act, like in Kindergarten Cop and stuff. Like it's just
It's not a
funny.
tumor. It's not a tumor.
Shut up! I just love watching this man act.
In
Uh,
every movie he's ever been in, whether it's Terminator or Kindergarten Cop or whatever, he just always seems happy to be there.
yeah. Like, like watching I was watching behind the scenes stuff for Predator when he's shooting Predator,
Mm,
and he's the reason that I forgot who it was, but he got someone hooked on smoking cigars because basically every time they took a break from
mm,
shooting, he'd be smoking a cigar,
mm.
smoking a stogie.
Stogie. He loves stogies.
Oh yeah, dude loves it.
Yeah.
Terrible, terrible for your body, but he loved it.
Yeah. Ironic coming from a bodybuilder.
Well, his body's all jacked up and stuff, but you know what? He had to lead a very successful and fulfilling life, so good for him.
Yeah.
You know, we're here only for a short time, so may as well have a good time.
But speaking about things that are good for your body, John.
Uh, I don't want to talk about this. It just makes me feel old. Like, so recently, I've been trying to go back into the gym, get into shape. You know, before the gyms start get fucking packed full of the New Year resolutioners and stuff. But one thing that I never
We should
focused
do a
on,
fitness thing on the because like I think all of us could benefit from going to the gym.
and Natai's going, bro. Like,
It's oh
I think it's just you and Shinoda, to be honest.
no, I mean I go. I just don't go as frequently as I should.
I mean, yeah, it would be cool to have a support system. because that's what lifting's all about, bro. It's about lifting. We lift with our legs to help lift our feels, bro.
Yes, we lift our bodies to lift our spirits.
But one thing that I never focused on was flexibility and yoga. I've had plenty of people tell me like, "Oh, you should do yoga. Like flexibility is very important." I used to be very flexible when I was younger because I remember when I was growing up, a lot of my PE programs made us stretch. We had
Mm.
did a bunch of stretches all the time.
And you should
And
stretch before lifting, by the way.
well,
You
yes
should.
and no. So there's you can overstretch
Yes, you
is the
can.
problem.
You should at least stretch a little bit before you lift.
Yes and no. It's very so the problem with stretching before you lift is you can overstretch and that'll do more damage. And it's very hard to know how to do that. To like if you don't properly stretch all the time. Like I feel like if you feel comfortable and flexible enough to lift, go ahead and lift. But if you feel like, oh, I've got a crick in my neck or something like that, like stretch first, yes.
Yeah.
Make yourself comfortable before you lift,
If you
is my
slept
point.
wrong on something, stretch first.
Yeah, like I think stretching before and after lifting is all dependent on how you feel. I don't know the science behind it, but I do know that it can be detrimental if you overstretch.
Yeah. If you don't know what
But
you're doing, of course it's going to be detrimental.
I have been told to do yoga. And I'm like, nah, fuck that. I don't want to do yoga. Stretching, like, ugh, I don't want to stretch. It's annoying, right? And I took it for granted. All right. I used to be a lot more flexible when I was younger. And now I'm not as flexible. And it hurts, bro. It hurts.
Getting old
Like,
sucks.
I used to be able to touch my toes. Now I can barely touch my toes. Like, I'm like, oh,
It takes a lot more
oh,
effort, doesn't it?
it does. And I'm like, oh my God. So my advice to anyone who is rapidly aging as fast as I am is to take up yoga, dude. Stretch. Learn to stretch. It's very important to learn to stretch and stay flexible
Hmm.
because you will feel 100 times better if you stretch. Just
A-
just
Ask him
take
about
my
how he
advice.
takes his potassium.
Don't ask me about that.
Is it up the
We're not going to
butt?
talk about that.
Does he
What?
take it up the butt?
No, she says how often I take my potassium.
Oh, how often? I thought it said how you take it. Like,
No, I get cramps a lot, so I have potassium supplements.
dude, as I've gotten older, something I found that happens, and I'm sure it's because I'm not getting enough potassium, is I'll wake up in the morning, and the second I try and move my legs, Charlie horse.
Yeah, you need more potassium.
Yeah.
I take
Oh,
I have potassium supplements,
let me tell you
so
something. Sometimes that Charlie horse doesn't hit until I put my foot on the floor and try and put my weight on it, and oh my god, I hit the floor with all the weight I have.
yeah, I'll get if I don't have enough potassium, I'll get cramps in my legs while I sleep, and that
Mm.
sucks. So that's why I have potassium now. But yeah, my advice: stretch, learn yoga. It's don't do like I don't like hot yoga. I think that's dumb. But
What is
I
hot
g-
yoga? Is that like just
you
yoga when you're
go
naked?
into a fucking sweat box of a room and you get stinky and smelly
Oh,
with
it's like
other
doing it in a
people.
sauna.
Yes, it's gross.
Okay.
But the idea is that while you're stretching, you're breathing in hot air, which makes you sweat. So it helps you burn fat, lose weight. I'm just like, yeah, whatever, sure, bro.
I mean, I'm sure it does make you lose or burn a few more calories for sure, but you're increasing your
Yeah, I
body
get it.
temperature.
Yeah, you would. I mean, whatever. But I feel like a healthy diet and a normal exercise routine probably would help more than
Oh yeah,
just
for
sitting in a
sure.
sweaty hot box.
For sure. Like I like going and sitting in the sauna for a little bit, but
I like after
that's
I work out to do that,
that
or if I'm
sweat
hella
feels
cold from
good.
like the morning. I like to go into the sauna in the morning when I get to the gym if I'm
Mhm.
cold. Just warm up, like, oh, I'm freezing. So you don't cold start your day. But other than that, yeah, no, I think I have learned yoga is important. I've learned stretching is important.
You've learned
Flexibility is important.
flexibility is good for you.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can't fucking stretch. You can't do things, and it's very important to stay limber. It's how you'll be
Okay.
able to keep running around when you're 60. Stretching.
Yeah. Also, this thing you wrote about driving here, I kind of agree, but I also kind of disagree.
Okay, so as you know, I have worked graveyard, the night shift for the last 2.5 years now.
Okay.
I am accustomed to driving at night, and I am accustomed to driving when there's no traffic. Recently, I've had to stay up past 6 a.m. is usually when I go to sleep because I get off of work at 5 and I get home. Then I go to sleep about 6, right?
Mhm.
I have had to, in the last 2 weeks, stay up and do stuff in the morning because I had appointments and this and that. I absolutely hate driving in the morning. It's 100 times worse than driving at any other time of the day.
Is it because of the traffic?
Not only is it because of the traffic, people do not give a fuck about traffic laws in the morning. If they're in a fucking rush, they don't care. They'll go the wrong goddamn way. They'll cut in front of you. They don't give two fucks.
Red lights are an afterthought.
Yeah, people I I almost got hit 3 times coming home from the dentist. And
Mm.
the trip to the dentist was a 15-minute trip. I almost got hit 3 fucking times by people cutting in front of me. And then, or 2 people cut in front of me because they needed to make their turn to get on the freeway. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. And one person almost hit me because she was going the wrong fucking way in a parking lot.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. And I'm like, Jesus. No reason why people die so much from freaking car accidents. Because people are dumb.
Yeah, people. Yeah, you're right, Class Ulysses. The traffic rules are broken in the morning for sure.
Yeah, and this is like everyone's pissed off because they're woken up and they have to go to work and they have to do this and that. So everyone's already cranky. So no one's in the mood for anyone's bullshit, right?
And you got those
So they're
people
like,
that are
fuck it.
doing like their makeup on the way to the office.
Yeah,
And
you got people shaving, fucking talking on their phone, like, oh, I'm gonna be late. Oh, I forgot this meeting. They're just people not giving a fuck, two fucks whatsoever. It's insane to
makes
me.
you think
It's
that we
insane.
really need those self-driving cars.
It makes me feel like we need a better transport system than damn cars.
Yeah. So I kind of did. I agree with you a lot. A lot of the stuff with the traffic being so much worse in the morning. For me, my least favorite time to drive is at night. I have astigmatism, so every single light I see looks like this giant fuzzy halo, and it's really distracting.
Yeah, I also have stigmatisms in my. Oh, I have astigmatism in this eye, the only eye I can see out of.
Mm.
But
Huh.
I think that yeah, my night vision when I'm driving is very poor. So hopefully there are no other cars on the road because when their lights come up, I get blinded. But
Yeah,
can we talk about traffic lights, or rather, car lights have gotten way brighter? Have you
they
noticed
have.
that?
Yeah,
Like
they have.
every car manufacturer is just like, oh, we're just gonna load up cars with like fucking
With
10K
a
lumen
collapsed
headlights.
sun inside their hood.
Yes, and it's fucking. I can't see jack shit when those cars come up, especially when it rains. I can't see the other side of the road, and it's crazy.
Do you know what? Around here, it's always the lifted trucks that got the brightest headlights.
Yeah, it's gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm gonna fucking store a 20K lumen flashlight in my car just to flash people when they flash their lights at me. Like,
Mhm.
how's it feel, motherfucker?
And
I'll
like,
blind you too.
and the crazy thing is, the people be like, "It's not even the bright lights," and then you turn on the bright lights, and you've blinded everyone in a 30-mile radius.
There was a car. I saw a truck that had one of those LED like bars, light
Mhm.
bars on the back of their truck, and they used it to flash people who were put on their high beams from behind. I'm like, that's so petty, and I love it. However, I feel like it's probably illegal because you know, you're driving and the car in front of you flashes bright lights behind you. You can't see jack shit.
Yeah.
Like that's an accident waiting to happen.
I don't know how it is elsewhere, but here in Florida where I live, they will actually ticket you for having bright lights that are too bright.
Washington, you don't get ticketed for jack shit, man. Crime's just free right now. It's crazy. I'm serious. Crime's free. They don't arrest nobody for nothing.
I wonder why all the companies are leaving.
Yeah, it's really gone downhill.
But yeah, for me, that's the only reason I really don't like driving at night. Number one, everything looks different at night, so you don't really know where you are, unless you know exactly where you're going. But the thing for me is just driving at night is so distracting because I got those lights, I got the giant fuzzy halos around them.
I just feel like the I feel safer at night when I can't see than driving with other people around me.
I also
That's
hate
how
the
I
big
feel.
ass trucks with the size of a Sherman tank with the double wheels,
Oh yeah, like
the
the Super
dualies.
Duty, the F-350 Super Duties.
Yeah, with the giant dualies on the back. And I'm from
I'm
Texas.
from
Well, you're
Texas.
in the minority there if you don't like a big
Uh,
ass truck in Texas.
yeah, it's just insane to me that no one really everyone's just so pissed off in the morning and they don't care. Like, fuck it. If I die, I die. Like, we ball today. I'm like, Jesus, man.
If he dies, he dies. Yeah,
But
people are crazy on the road.
I hate driving. As I've gotten older, I've started to resent driving more and more. I make my
No.
wife drive whenever
I
we
love
have to go
driving.
anywhere.
I hate traffic.
I don't like driving anymore. I make my wife drive me. Like, honey, you want to go to the zoo? You're driving. I'm not driving. And then I hate how she parks because she can't park for shit. So then I'm like, Jesus Christ, why can't you park?
Do you know one of the most like anxiety inducing scenes I've ever seen in a TV show involves parking? So, do you remember the series finale of The Sopranos? Like in the very last scene, you see Tony's daughter trying to parallel park her car, and it's
Mm.
so anxiety inducing watching her do this because she can't do it.
I thought you were going to talk about the was it Kramer that was double parked and he had to park his car?
Oh yeah, like
and
he was
just,
double
it's
parking,
just
but to
stuck
avoid the
sideways.
ticket,
He's just like going back and forth because he can't
yeah.
move. Hilarious.
I also like the time where he double parks, but to avoid a ticket, he just double parks in different places every few minutes.
God, I love Seinfeld so much.
Yeah, parking can sometimes be very anxiety inducing, especially if you're in a car as a passenger with someone who's really bad at it.
You know, I used to be able to parallel park really well without my backup camera. I've gotten so used to using my backup camera that I can barely parallel park anymore without it.
Right? We've
It's
gotten
so
so
bad.
spoiled by that backup camera.
Oh my God. When I first got my car and it had a backup camera, I was like, "Oh, who cares? I know how to park without that, right? It's fine." And now I'm just like, how do I reverse? I can't see. There's no screen. I'm like, I can't see anything. It's so
Oh,
bad.
apparently you hate your wife's speakers and music too.
She likes playing Christmas music nonstop. Just all year round. Just all year round.
It is the most wonderful time of the year.
And you don't understand. Her music is like the lowest quality music you could possibly download. It's so bad.
Oh, it's like
It's just like
56K
yeah, it's just
resolution
like it's
audio.
scratchy and echoey at the same time. Sounds like it got recorded underneath in a fucking in a bathtub. And she's like, "Yeah, that's good music right there." And I'm like, Jesus, I can't. Like, like, oh God. Ugh.
Yeah, I can see that. People are crazy, John. People are crazy.
It would be crazy.
I think that's about it, though. We've been going for about 3 hours. I think it's time to end this.
Listen, I've been trying to exit for the last 30 minutes, but you just keep talking to me.
Okay, well, in that
I've
case,
been wanting to. I'm hungry.
and I'm hungry too. I'm ready to go eat. I do want to thank everyone for stopping by to watch us tonight. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff down below if you like what you saw and want to see more. It really does help us out. Also, don't forget to check down below where links to. Let me try that again. Check down below where you can find links to Anime Club After Dark on Twitter, TikTok, Discord, all that good stuff. If you wanted to ask us some questions that can be featured here, that's also where you can do it on our Discord server. There is a channel just for you to ask questions for us to answer here. There's also a link to our merch store where you can buy a nice little shirt like this.
Oh, is that new?
Yes. So it's the get out of here, Mike. It's the shirt that I had made up for Natai and I's Monogatari Spoilercast series. And it's got cool story bro on it. And it's got Natai and I dressed as characters from the show with a bunch of Monogatari references around us.
Is my Isekai trash one ready yet?
No, but it should be soon. I gotta get with Ida to do the font that you want. Like the curved font around the image. But yeah, that is something that's coming soon to our I almost said Discord server, to our merch store. We have an Isekai Trash t-shirt with John's podcast character on it, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Probably have it on more than just a shirt, but it'll definitely be on a shirt too. Yeah, check that out if you want to help us out a lot too. Any purchases you make there go to continue to do this and making it even better. All that said, though, I have been your host, Alex, and we will see you next time. Say goodnight, John.
Good night. that. Bye.
How long can you do that? Oh yeah, I thought you were gonna just keep going until I did
No,
the thing.
no, no.
Okay. Good night, everybody.